projects.
With Renify, we can.
What's Renify?
Renify loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renify, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renify loans are the only home equity loan that use the after-renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renify?
Just send them a text.
Text TRANSFORM to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renify. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word TRANSFORM to 323232 to get started today. Text TRANSFORM to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. And smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
In memory of a local legend, Seven Oaks and the Stonehenge HOA will hold the 3rd annual Wild Bill 5K this Saturday at Seven Oaks Swim and Racket Club in Raleigh. Proceeds from the 5K event go to the Ronald McDonald House and the Helene Foundation. Reserve your spot at wildbill5k.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, save 40% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus, free home delivery on select smart beds when you add an adjustable base. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's hot and sticky out there for us this afternoon. A high of 95 degrees, feeling like around 102 to 103 with the heat index. So just be careful out there. Could be a few isolated showers and storms too, especially south of the Triangle. 74 overnight tonight and hotter tomorrow. A high of 98. It's possible that we would have a heat advisory for tomorrow. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company. Where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 450 points at 41,194.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Graham Hill producing the show. And we're going to start with something that sports radio never does. We're going to do something fun. We're going to do something optimistic. We're not going to start negative. Doesn't feel like everybody always, it's got to be a negative. Every once in a while, you just need some unabashedly awesome.
Is this opposite day?
Maybe. Although I don't want to commit to that for the entire day. That sounds exhausting. There you go. With the negative. Positivity.
You're right. My apologies.
Let's celebrate Julius Peppers this week.
Carolina, stand up.
Julius Peppers is going into the Hall of Fame. Tomorrow is the Hall of Fame game. We will have real NFL players, even if they're end-of-the-bench guys. Real NFL players playing in a preseason game. There will be celebrations of the incoming induction class into the NFL Hall of Fame. Julius Peppers is amongst them. And it raised something in me. Because traditionally the biggest names that are going into the Hall of Fame, the teams that they are most associated for play in the Hall of Fame game, in that first preseason game. And the Panthers are not playing tomorrow, which either means the league doesn't think Julius Peppers is one of the premier players in this induction class, or they don't think that he's associated with one team enough to pick the Panthers. Both nonsense. So I thought we'd do something fun, and we just celebrate Julius Peppers in the way he should be celebrated this week. Peppers had more sacks, 159.5, than all but 3 other players in NFL history. 159.5 sacks. That's ridiculous. And then on top of that, he played in the Final Four for the University of North Carolina. I know that doesn't attribute to his NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame, but, I mean, that's one of the coolest things in the world.
Also shows how great of an athlete he was, that he was able to play college football while also playing college basketball.
I saw somebody that pointed out or said this. They said if Julius Peppers had 1 ounce of a salesman's bone in his body, he would be the defensive line version of Deion Sanders. I think that might, like, if he just had a couple music videos and a cool nickname, everybody calls him Pep. If he had like a couple music videos, cool nickname, maybe a Jerry curl or whatever Deion Sanders, more chains. Julius Peppers was that good, and he did the 2-sport thing. He played in the Final Four. But here's the crazy part, right? He is the third, more sacks than all but 3 players in NFL history. It's wild. That's not actually the thing that I think is best about Julius Peppers, right? Sacks are what everybody's going to talk about, right? He got the quarterback on the ground, edge rushing, pass rushing, the bull rush, the speed move, the spins. That's what everybody's going to talk about. He is the only player in NFL history with 100-plus sacks and at least 10 interceptions. He could drop into coverage. He could make a play where he gets his hands on the ball. ESPN put out an article, and I read it, and I went back and watched the plays. It is a perfect example of Julius Peppers. 2 plays against the Broncos like 2 decades ago, right? Long time ago, it was Jake Plummer was the quarterback for the Broncos, and they had a 3rd and goal at the 3. So the Broncos have the ball against the Panthers, 3rd and goal at the 3 going in. They go with the play-action bootleg, the naked boot. Every quarterback loves the naked boot. What that means is fake it to the running back, boom, pull it out, keep it yourself. You're rolling to the corner of the pylon, and if it works, there's nothing out there but green grass. You've probably seen the highlight of Peyton Manning doing this against the Cowboys, right, where it takes him, I think, 25 seconds to get the 2 yards he needs, but he's so wide open he gets to trot into the end zone. So they run that play with Jake Plummer, who, by the way, is much faster than Peyton Manning. And the crazy part is Julius Peppers bites. On the handoff, right? He thinks he's got to stop the running back. He's coming down full head of steam, and he bites on the fake. Jake Plummer now has the ball. He's pulled the fake out. He's running to the corner of the end zone. He's going to, run at the pylon and jog into the end zone. Julius Peppers slams on the brakes. Boom. Cuts like he's running the shuttle at the combine. Leg planted in the ground, driving the other way. Closes like he's DK Metcalf chasing down Budda Baker. Everybody knows that famous play, right? Ends up knocking Jake Plummer out of bounds at the 1-yard line after nobody was around Jake Plummer. That's play number 1. Play number 2 is the very next play, right? Anybody that's ever been caught doing something and having to sprint knows how tiring that is, right? You wake up, you check the time. Oh, no, it's 45 minutes past when your alarm was supposed to go off. You're running as fast as it's exhausting, right? That just happened to Julius Peppers, right? He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, going after the fake, and then chased it down, got Jake Plummer out of bounds at the 1. He's tired. Next play call, they drop him into coverage. 4th and 1. They blitz both safeties on the outside. They drop both defensive ends. So now Julius Peppers is running with, I believe, the tight end on the outside in coverage like he's a corner. Intercepts the ball. 3 yards deep in the end zone. Now he's exhausted. It's in Denver, right? It's in Denver, so mile high, right? No oxygen up there. Does he go down? Does he run out of bounds? Does he get, hey, we got the turnover. Let's celebrate. Touchback, ball out on the 20. No, he takes the heck off. 101-yard interception return to the 2-yard line. That's what Julius Peppers is. The sacks are crazy, right? The sack numbers, 159.5 sacks. He sacked 77 different quarterbacks in his career. That is tied for the most in NFL history. 77 different quarterbacks he brought to the ground in the backfield. The stats on pressuring the quarterback are outlandish, but he just made 2 plays that had nothing to do with that. 2 plays that make your eyeballs pop out of your head had nothing to do with getting a sack. The first play, as they point out in the article on ESPN.com, looks like Jake Plummer rushes for 2 yards, pushed out of bounds by Julius Peppers on the stat sheet. That's all it says. But it doesn't tell half the story. The next one says interception by Julius Peppers, returned 101 yards back to the 2-yard line. And even that doesn't tell the whole story because he's a 290-pound defensive lineman doing it. The dude's a Hall of Famer, or at least he will be this weekend, and the Panthers should be playing in the Hall of Fame game because this entire week should be about celebrating Julius Peppers. This entire week should be about celebrating one of the best pure defensive players. Yes, sack artists, right? Yes, pass rusher. Yes, all of that. But one of the best defensive players to ever play the game. And if he was just willing to, pop up in a few more commercials, sell himself a little bit more, he'd be one of the more famous players in NFL history. Instead, right, quiet guy, smile, making plays. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We can all see that, right? We can all see who the best players are, almost as if we're looking through a window. That's a segue, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Donnelly here for Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. I'm a big stats person. I like numbers. How about this for a stat? 96% customer satisfaction rating. 96% of the windows installed require no follow-up service. And if they do, Window Nation comes with a lifetime warranty. There are over 20,000 online positive reviews. How's that for a stat? They've installed over 200,000 windows last year. Last year alone. That is 40 times the average window company. All they do are windows. They are experts. They have over 1,500 custom vinyl window combinations available. Do you need more stats? Average installer has over 16 years of experience with 20,000 windows installed. I would trust them to do just about anything if you've done it 20,000 times at a high level with all those satisfaction rates. Give them a call, 866-90-NATION. If you want those stats, if you want to be a part of those stats, give them a call, 866-90-NATION, or you can visit them online at windownation.com. That's windownation.com. When we come back, the Canes, the Carolina Hurricanes, introduced their team president, Doug Warf, earlier today. He had his press conference. He's going to join us on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline coming up next.
It's the summer of soccer.
Swiderski for Capetti. It's stolen away by Hack. Hit the line by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant, quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
This is it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $5.99. That's right, just $5.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always Bo time.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's almost football season in the Bull City, and your Duke Blue Devils are back at Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $145. Don't wait. New this season, you can add the Devil's Deck in-stadium experience to your ticket and receive exclusive access to the end zone tailgate space with all-you-can-eat food and drink. Get your season tickets today at goduke.com/footballtips or call 919-681-BLUE. Duke football. Bleed blue.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Contact your local Carolina Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Shinosuke Oka of Japan won gold in the men's gymnastics all-around. Zhang Bohung of China took silver with his teammate Zhao Ruteng winning bronze. Americans Paul Judah and Frederick Richard finished 14th and 15th, respectively. France's Léon Marchand won his second gold medal of the Games with a win in the 200 fly. He'll swim for another gold in about 2 hours in the 200 breaststroke. Sarah Sjöström of Sweden took home gold in the women's 100 freestyle, just ahead of American Tori Husk, who won her third medal of the Games with the silver. The U.S. women's soccer team leads Australia 2-1 in extra time of their final group play match. Trinity Rodman and Corbin Albert have scored for the Americans. And the U.S. men's basketball team is getting set for their second game of these Olympics after beating Serbia in their opener. The U.S. will be tipping off here in just mere moments against South Sudan, a team they beat by 1 in their exhibition schedule. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Welcome to Staples, young man. I'm starting first grade. Aw. Well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue. I need a laptop. Oh, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $500 on select PCs.
The finances are Mom's department.
Right.
I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor.
Boy, first grade has really changed.
Totally.
Save big on tech for school with Staples Hot Deals, with up to $500 off select PCs. Ends 9/14 in-store only for participating stores. Visit staples.com/stores/school deals.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Joining us now in the Heister Automotive Group hotline, brand new Canes team president. That's the Carolina Hurricanes team president, Doug Warf. Doug, thank you for taking time out of your introductory day here to jump on the phone lines with us. We'll start with kind of the basics, right? There's a reshuffling happening in the front office of the Canes. What is your role within the organization going to be?
That's a great question, Tim. We took Don's role and kind of chopped it up into almost 3 roles now. So Eric Tulsky oversees the hockey side. I'm joining Brian Fork on the business side, and kind of the reason there's 2 of us is not only are we running the arena and the hockey business side, but we are trying to work forward on the arena redevelopment internally, and then the large, $800 million to $1 billion development externally of the PNC Arena campus.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to bite off, right? Lot to chew up. I guess the one of the reasons why I think you're such an interesting hire is because prior to your time at your most recent job, you spent 16 years working for the Hurricanes in various sales and marketing roles. I guess first question, why did you leave the first time? And then follow up immediately with why is now the right time to come back with all of these crazy things happening?
Yeah, great question. I left after 16 years. I love this team and what it meant to the community. I had gotten kind of pigeonholed, I would say, in like a sports marketing role, and I didn't always see myself that way. I saw myself as a business person, and I wanted that business taste. So I was very fortunate that I had a great opportunity to go be CMO and then president of a local holdings company that has a large outreach and local companies that are here in the Triangle and throughout the Carolinas. But coming back, it was tough to leave where I went. I loved what I was doing. I loved the people I was working with. But what's in front of us right now is pretty amazing. The team's in good spot. I never worked for Tom Dundon. I left before Tom bought the team. His vision here is strong. And I love what we're doing in the arena and around the arena. And when you look at some of these things that we're doing, I keep calling them legacy projects. But if you look at what the arena area redevelopment would be, that's a legacy project. If you look at some of the things that we're trying to go after, like Major League Baseball, and we're making a real push for that, those are things that my daughter will tell her kids about down the line. And it's hard to say no to an opportunity like that.
Doug Warf, Canes team president, brand new, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline here on The Drive. You've brought up some like I said, kind of big fish, right? The baseball team, the development outside the arena, that kind of entertainment district, the in-arena stuff. From kind of a sit down and go standpoint, what's priority number one? What's task number one once you learn where the bathrooms are and hang pictures on the wall?
Yeah, I thankfully remember the bathrooms. A lot of other things have changed, but thankfully the bathrooms have not. There's some big pieces in play right in front of us, and we lease the building from the Centennial Authority, so there's a lot of this where we are waiting to see how they work through some of these processes. That'll decide how we do internal pieces inside the arena. I think for me, a lot of it's getting caught back up with our corporate partners, getting caught back up with where we are in ticket sales. It's a drastically different world than when I was here 7.5 years ago. And then how can we have that impact on fan experience? The big thing that Tom has pushed both Brian and I with is how do we continue to improve the fan experience? That's not only in-game while you're watching, but also around the concourse, entry into the building, all of those pieces, and taking deep dives into those. I think there are some things that we can hit before the season starts, but I think a lot of the things that we're going to undertake will be things that kind of start in the season and go into next offseason.
Do you have any kind of like fantasy dreams about what might come to either the area right outside the arena or the concourse that one day you hope to implement?
Well, I think, I've grown up in this area. I went to NC State. I've been here 25 years now and have tailgated in these parking lots. And I know what tailgating means.
Nice.
As an NC State grad. But I also know what it's like to travel to other arenas and be able to walk to bars and restaurants and things after you leave an arena. So I think what we're trying to find is that blend. What allows that legacy feel of tailgating to continue while still allowing an entertainment district to live, outside our front door. And when you think about that, when you think about the fact that we can have an arena that hosts the Canes and NC State basketball, a Final Four basketball team, nice plug, Coach Keith, as well as the dominant team that Durham's put at Carter Finley, let's put a 4,000-seat Live Nation venue just outside of that where we can host more concerts on a smaller level or comedy shows on a smaller level. Let's put a sports book. Let's see it with restaurants. Let's see it with housing, with hotels. That's a totally different venue than what we're looking at today, and I think it feels different. And I think the nice part is when this was built, maybe it felt like it was outside the city. And, I live, close to downtown. I get to work in under 15 minutes. This is an easy commute, and it's something that I think our community is used to, and it ties the Triangle together. So I think it's the perfect location now for what we're trying to do.
That voice you hear is Doug Warf, the Carolina Hurricanes team president, had his introductory press conference earlier today, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline right now. Doug, I did the typical new hire thing and scrolled back a ways on your Twitter account, and you were tweeting during the Canes postseason run, and I say this complimentarily, as a compliment. You were tweeting like a fan, right? You were reacting to Rod's decision to put Pyotr Kochetkov in net for a game the way the rest of us were, going like, hey, this reminds me of this move, a decade ago. Do you have to turn off that kind of fan part of your brain to be inside the building, or do we now have a fan on the inside?
No, I think you always had a fan on the inside. I just couldn't always show it for 16 years. And I think that's what has helped me some. And I think it's what a lot of our team, our staff are, right? They're fans at heart. We affectionately have a group that I had to leave of Carolina Hurricanes Association of former employees. So I have to leave the Chafe group now to come back into the work world. But we're all fans, and I think that helps us know what a fan thinks like. And I've got to be careful where I cheer and where I yell now, and those types of things. But yeah, the fandom's always been there.
Last one before we let you go. One of your first days in the building, you get to be a part of the group that tells Eric Stahl his jersey is going in the rafters. If there is that fan still within, how cool was that? Just being there for that moment.
It was awesome. It really was. And, when I was here for Eric's full career. So I left after he left and was in right before he came in. So I got to see his entire arc here and just what he meant to this franchise. I love that we have so many new fans. I worry that some kind of lose sight of some of the greatness that was here prior. And Eric is one of those that if you still look across the board, stops and points and goals and assists and all these things since relocating to North Carolina. I'm excited that some of our newer fans kind of get to see that. And, you think about it, it's been 14 years since we retired Rod's number. We retired Ron in the 05-06 season. We retired Glenn in the 09 season, and we retired Rod in the 11 season. Four great guys, right, to represent the franchise in the rafters. But some pretty big things happened in those years that we retired numbers. So I think sometimes you see that there are current guys on the roster who might have similar aspirations, and it's cool for them to be able to see that moment in reality. So I'm not only excited for Eric, I'm excited for a lot of the guys that I think might have that potential a few years down the road.
Doug, we appreciate you for taking the time. Like I said at the beginning of our conversation, don't be afraid to tip us off if there's something extra cool coming to the stadium. We like to be in the know.
I will, and one day I want to play the numbers game, and I want to do the Hurricanes edition. I don't hear enough people do the Hurricanes edition, so I want to do that myself one time.
I love it. Anytime. We'll set that up quickly. Doug, we appreciate it, and next time I talk to you, we'll have the numbers game set up for you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tim.
Cool. Doug Warf, Canes team president, not only longtime returning employee of the Carolina Hurricanes, but also a numbers game aficionado. You know what I like? I like that he said he wants to do the Canes category because that's a little bit of pressure, right? That's a guy that likes making the tough decisions because if you're the Canes team president and you don't pull at least a 3 or a 4 out of 10 on the Canes category, you're gonna get some tweets. So he's not afraid of a little pressure. I like that.
I mean, as a producer, I'd love to have him on today, but I don't think Doug needs any problems getting train and Oreo Speedwagon tickets. Now becoming the team president of the Carolina Hurricanes.
even
he might be on the side stage
true.
with Jordan Martinook or something.
When you're running the building, You don't need the tickets. But still, we'll get him on for a numbers game at some point in time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was Doug Warf, Canes team president. When we come back to our regularly scheduled series, right? We made room for Doug on the show, but we still have to get to our latest question in our series of 99 questions about the college football season. Stick around.
Are you ready?
From 54, snap and hold are good. Kick is on the way, plenty of leg, and it is good!
Over the middle it goes, and he's got Puka Nacua to the 30, to the 20. No one's going to catch him.
Back to throw, Crosby off the edge, and he's got him back at the 23! Tua back to throw, deep, down the numbers on the left, and the Cheetahs got it! Touchdown!
The NFL kicks off August 1st. On 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Mortgage rates are down. Yep, they've been dropping big time, so it's a great time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's got APRs in the 5s. So if you got stuck with a high rate last year and want to refinance, this is a great time to call and lower your payment. Or you can use this opportunity to get cash out of your home's equity and pay off those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and other high-rate debt. Loan Pronto can help you use these lower rates to get the cash you need in a matter of days. You could do a full refi, or you could do an Equity Express line of credit. Homeowners who call Loan Pronto typically cut their monthly payments by $850. Bottom line, your home value is way up, and mortgage rates have come down big time, making this a great time to act. Call today for a free 30-second rate quote. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, Equal Housing Lenders, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Batter up. Theater Raleigh presents Bull Durham, a new musical playing Duke University's Reynolds Industries Theater in Durham, September 10th through the 22nd. Based on the classic movie, the film's original screenwriter Ron Shelton has adapted the story for the musical, so you can follow Crash Davis's Durham Bulls story and his romantic love triangle in a new genre. The perfect blend of comedy, drama, and steamy romance. Get your tickets for Bull Durham, a new musical, today. Details and ticket info at theaterraleigh.com.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, save 40% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Plus, free home delivery on select smart beds when you add an adjustable base. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are riders too, so we understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and we don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. 99 questions about the college football season. It's getting closer and closer. The question for today is a three-parter, right? And we do this a lot. We do the three teams in the triangle, NC State, Duke, and North Carolina, in no particular order. But the question for today is, what is the fill-in-the-blank, blank or bust answer for each team in the triangle? Right? You hear teams say, we're championship or bust. We're playoffs or bust. Well, bust meaning like a failure. What for each of these teams is the minimum amount that they can achieve where the season isn't a bust? Blank or bust, fill it out for each of the three teams in the triangle. As always, to make sure the order is random, we let the producer choose. Graham, what school are we starting with?
I say we go with the big dog that's projected to be the big team in the triangle this year, and I don't, no pun intended, NC State.
NC State, to me, this is the easiest one of the bunch. Not the easiest to achieve, the easiest to decide the answer to our question. 10 wins or bust. 10 wins or bust. Now, there's obviously levels of success above that. Make the ACC championship, make the college football playoff. But this is a team that has never won 10 games under Dave Doeren, and he's been here a while now. Not to say they haven't had success, but they've never – that's a factual statement, right? They've never won 10 games. This year, I believe it's one of his more talented teams. They've gone all in with name, image, and likeness money. They've gone all in on the transfer portal. They've recruited well. They finished last year with an upward momentum. 10 wins or bust for Dave Doeren and NC State.
After practice today, Dave Doeren was even asked by the media members, is this his most talented team he's had during his tenure at NC State? And he said it's too early to tell. Coaches talk. But, I mean, come on. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean, I take everything that Coach Doeren says with a handful of salt rather than like a grain of salt, because he's aware, right? The one of the things I really like about Dave Doeren is, he's heard it, right? You don't have to go like, Coach, what? Like he knows what you know. He knows more than what we know about his team, but he knows what we know about the outside noise. He knows what's being said. He's no nonsense in that way,
and he's not afraid to tell you when you're wrong.
Oh, he
when
keeps
he has
receipts.
the upper hand.
He keeps receipts.
Steve Smith.
But it is a season where I feel like 8 wins is a disappointment. 8 wins is a bust. And that's a lot of pressure on a team. Winning double-digit games is not easy. Some teams are able to crank it out year over year over year, right? We saw Clemson do it for a bunch of years. Like Virginia Tech had a run, Florida State had a run. Like I get that it's difficult, but with the way their season is set up, the way their schedule is set up, the way their roster is set up, anything less than 10 wins, I'm pretty disappointed.
Well, he even said during ACC kickoff when asked about the recent success of continuous 9-win seasons, he said 9 wins is great, or 9 wins is good. We want to be great. That's the message this year. It seems like the message is, you say 10 wins, I'd even say it's ACC championship or bust.
I mean, there's definitely those that believe that. I think with respect to the ACC, there's worlds where you're very good. There might be 3 teams from the ACC that make the college football playoff, and obviously only 2 would make the ACC championship. So, with the acknowledgement that if you win 10 games, you're probably in the ACC championship. I think it's that or bust. Speaking of Dave Doeren, we have a clip here on what he is looking for in the first few days of practice for his team.
You want to see clean, penalties, things like that, pre-snap penalties. You want to see them play clean football. We're looking at fundamentals. You are still throwing and catching. You're still fitting guys up as blockers, and the alignments of the formations, the timing of the plays, the communication, the disguise on defense, the pursuit, all the things that we can do. That's what we're looking for.
That's going to be necessary. That's like when you get to 10 wins or bust, all of those things become absolutes. You need to be good at preventing penalties. You need to be good at winning the little things. You need to be good at knowing where you're supposed to be. Alignment, assignment. Who's next, Duke or UNC?
Let's go with UNC.
UNC, it's a 2-parter. Blank or bust for UNC. Fill in that blank. I have 8 wins and the Doak Walker Award. So you need to have the best running back in the country, and you need to win 8 games, or else you're looking at this season disappointed. You're looking at it like it didn't live up to expectations. Now, the Doak Walker award, I thought it was interesting, right? Because Mac Brown at Media Days was at ACC Kickoff, the head coach of UNC, was talking about how this team is different than previous year's teams. And what he said was, when you have Sam Howell, when you have Drake May, you're trying to win the Heisman. So your offense is throw, right? There's a certain level of commitment to the passing game that you need to have. And while that is true, right, and that is a big difference, this year they're going to start with the run rather than the pass. My thought went, okay, so you're aware of, like, the awards circuit, right? You're aware there are certain statistics that are needed for your players to win individual awards. You were calling maybe an extra pass play or two because you wanted to set those guys up in the Heisman race. Well, with Omari and Hampton, same thing applies, right? Run, win him the Doak Walker. Now, these are also kind of combined, right? If he wins the Doak Walker Award, best running back in the country, they probably get to 8 wins just on the nature of riding the hot hand at running back and vice versa. But I think if they finish, I saw their betting line was set at 7.5. If they get the over on 7.5 and a guy who should win the Doak Walker, that's good enough for me, even if he's snubbed.
Call me crazy, but I'm seeing a little bit of deja vu as far as 2 years ago where it was a quarterback competition going into game week between Drake May and Jacoby Criswell, and then all of a sudden North Carolina jumps out to a 9-1 start that season. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen.
I think you're doing the same thing you were doing earlier or maybe last week. I think you are forgetting that Drake May was who Drake May is, right? Everybody knew. I mean, he was one of the top recruits in the country. Everybody knew you were stepping into an NFL guy. This year, I don't know if they have that knowledge. Right? I think there was a lot more optimism the year Sam Howell departed and Drake May was stepping up, because some even saw that as a improvement, at least physical measurables, right? He was taller, stronger, faster. But Drake May had I don't think there was as much uncertainty at the quarterback room as there is right now for the UNC Tar Heels. But that doesn't mean, they also didn't have Omari and Hampton that year, so maybe it balances out. Speaking of those quarterbacks, Bryson Nesbitt, UNC tight end, my choice for all ACC tight end, was asked what he has seen out of the quarterbacks in the early going in practice. This is what he said.
Every quarterback does their own thing great. Here with Jacoby, he was battling out with Drake. Jake Johnson, he's had some SEC playing time. He's done some great things in the SEC. And then, Connor's proving himself every day here. So, I think we're going to have a fun little battle for training camp. We'll see how it goes. So.
Little battle in training camp. Who doesn't love a good quarterback competition from the outside? Wouldn't like if it was my team, but from the outside, they're fun to watch. Let's get to Duke. Duke, what is the fill-in-the-blank, blank or bust answer for the Duke Blue Devils?
I think for me, just with how much change they have going to the season and how much, I don't want to say uncertainty, but I feel like the bit with Duke this year is you'll know what you have, and then once you see them take the field, it has to be a bowl game. It's bowl game or bust.
Eligibility or bust. I'm right there with you. Bowl eligibility or bust. You don't have to hit a home run, but get another base hit, right? Like last year, the year before, you were building something, you were building excitement. This is one where you'll take a single, right? Go get 7 wins. Take care of business in the non-conference schedule. Steal a couple in the conference schedule. Have bowl eligibility locked up going into the last few games. Bowl eligibility or bust. Keep the streak alive, right?
Yeah.
How many years consecutive with a bowl game? Get one of those going. Like, that's all important for Duke. So whether it's Malik Murphy, whether it's Grayson Loftus, whether they're riding the hot hand of Jaquez Moore with big plays, whether Jordan Moore becomes an all-ACC player, whoever's making the offense work, drag that team to bowl eligibility, and I'll consider this season a success for Manny Diaz and that coaching staff.
And even if it was even better if you win that bowl game, because then that just feeds into the success going into next season. Then who knows, you're able to get some more guys out of the transfer portal, and they'll realize, hey, Manny Diaz was able to do this in year one when a lot of people didn't really have him set up for success. So it will just turn into a revolving door of, Duke getting back to that standard of getting to bowl games consistently.
And Malik Murphy and Grayson Loftus, eligibility-wise, are both sophomores.
Yeah.
So if it goes well, it's always nice to have the coach and the quarterback coming back, in which Duke would, right? Assuming that Malik Murphy doesn't have such a good season that the pros become an option, which would be that's a first-world problem. There's a few things there that I think they can do to capitalize, but it all starts with bowl eligibility or bust for Duke. So there you go. Those are the answers to our 99 questions about the college football season for the day. What are the blank or bust answers for each triangle team? For NC State, 10 wins or bust. For Duke, bowl eligibility or bust. And for UNC, 8 wins in the Doak Walker Award or bust. Some of those harder than the others, but that's to do with, with great talent comes great expectations. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's quickly update you on the summer games. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. The United States continues. Oh, we actually got a gold at some point since the show started. I was going to say continues to stall at 4 gold medals. They are now up to 5. We are now up to 5. That is still the 7th most gold medals of any country, with People's Republic of China in first with 8, tied with Japan, also 8. France and Australia tied with 7 in third, and then Great Britain and Korea tied in 5th with 6, before the United States with 5 gold medals. However, if you want to feel like the United States is dominating, you can just choose another stat to look at, because the United States is leading the total medals count with 30. 30 total medals for the United States. That is 5 more than France, who is in second with 25, and People's Republic of China in third with 18. So the United States is doing pretty well in total medals. Need to pick it up in the gold medals competition. Oh, I didn't realize this was over. Of course, there was a gold medal since we started the show. Katie Ledecky was swimming in the 1500 meter. Katie Ledecky is, and this is a compliment, an alien in the 1500 meter. She is, assuming that her winning time was one of the 20 best times in the history of the sport, she would now have the 20 fastest times in that race in the history of the sport. 20 fastest 1500 meter freestyles since people started swimming would be Katie Ledecky. So she got a gold medal, which also ties her now. Katie Ledecky is now in American history tied for the most medals ever won in a career. And with 2 more events still to run where she's expected to podium, sets her one closer to being the most decorated American swimmer in women's history. Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. Now let's do a tried and true, old school, nice pastime for us here in the state of Carolina. Let's revisit the Bryce Young trade, shall we? Because the news as of last night was DJ Moore got paid. DJ Moore, former Carolina Panther, was a part of the trade that brought Bryce Young, that number 1 overall pick that became Bryce Young, to the Panthers. The Bears have reached a deal with DJ Moore as of yesterday. 4 years, $110 million with $82.6 million guaranteed. That is big money. So I thought there's 2 ways to look at the Bryce Young trade and how it just keeps getting worse for the Panthers. One way is you look at what the deal was announced as, right? It was DJ Moore, a first-round pick, a second-round pick, another second-round pick, another second-round pick. Like you can just look at the players, right? Actually, 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, and DJ Moore. You could just look at it like that. Or, right, and here's the way I choose to look at it, you can look at what some of that turned into. So the Panthers traded for Bryce Young, and in exchange, they sent to the Bears Caleb Williams, A wide receiver who just signed a 4-year, $110 million extension, so a $27.5 million per year wide receiver. A 17-game starter on the offensive line as a rookie in Darnell Wright. A 16-game starter at corner with 4 interceptions as a rookie in Tyreek Stevenson. And next year's second-round pick. Let's count how many of those things you wouldn't trade for Bryce Young right now. Right? You wouldn't trade Caleb Williams for Bryce Young. I don't think you'd trade D.J. Moore and a starter on your offensive line for Bryce Young. I don't think you'd trade a starter at corner and a starter on your offensive line for Bryce Young. These are all just parts of the trade. If Caleb Williams is worth more than Bryce Young to you right now, which I think for most evaluators in the NFL he is, then the Panthers lost that trade by the difference that Caleb Williams is more attractive to you than Bryce Young, plus D.J. Moore, who's a $100 million wide receiver, plus a starter on your offensive line, plus a starter at cornerback, plus another second-round pick that hasn't even been realized yet. This trade keeps getting worse. D.J. Moore, when you trade away a player like D.J. Moore, you're kind of betting that they're going to fall off, right? Heck, in fantasy football, if I trade a player away, I'm kind of cynically rooting against them having a big season because I can't help but think, man, it's going to stink if that guy turns into a star. DJ Moore continued being a star. DJ Moore has been one of the top 20 in yardage receiving over the first 6 years of an NFL career. Top 20 in history. And he did that with whatever the quarterbacks the Panthers gave him and whatever the quarterbacks the Bears gave him last year. That's not a great look. Now, you just to keep twisting the knife, because sometimes you just got to let yourself feel the burn. You just got to let yourself feel the pain. It's like, what was Johnny Cash, right? I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I'm not going to sing the whole thing for you, but what are two positions that are desperately in need of for the Panthers? Right? Not a lot of people committed to Ickey Ekwonu at left tackle. Darnell Wright started 17 games last year for the Bears at offensive tackle. What about corner? The Panthers have no depth at corner. We've been calling for them to sign guys like Adoree Jackson or Stephon Gilmore, somebody out there at corner, because you can't trust J.C. Horn to stay healthy and the rest are serviceable but probably not number one corners. Well, the Bears got Tyreek Stevenson, who had 4 interceptions and started every game as a rookie. And on top of that, if you went and watched the Giants' Hard Knocks offseason, became very obvious that the Panthers were taking less in this year's draft in order to make sure they got a second rounder in next year's draft in the Brian Burns trade with the Giants. And they were doing that because they didn't have a second round pick next year and they wanted to replace it. That's the second rounder that is yet to be realized by the Bears that they had to replace. So you would have gotten more in this year's draft for Brian Burns if you didn't have to replace what you gave away in the Bryce Young deal. I say all of that to say this. Bryce better work out. I mean, if he ends up being a franchise quarterback, if you end up giving him $50 million a year in a couple years, we'll look back at this and say, yeah, it was an overpay, but at least it got you Bryce. If Bryce Young ends up being Zach Wilson, who, by the way, was taken out of the rotation for the ones, getting reps with the starters in Denver as a third-string quarterback behind, Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix. If he turns into Zach Wilson or Trey Lance or Kenny Pickett or some of these guys that were drafted in the first round and after 2 or 3 years were moved on from, this trade could go down with like the Herschel Walker trade from way back in the day, the Deshaun Watson trade, and followed up by the contract. Like, there are some trades here that would go down as one of the all-time worst. But to end it on an optimistic note, since we were talking optimism earlier today, Jonathan Mingo, who's by all accounts had a very good training camp, is feeling more confident playing with Bryce Young, and he told the media just that.
I feel like I got a better understanding of the system. Me and Bryce had a couple times to train this all season, so I feel like me and him got a good groove together right now. So just trying to go out there and capitalize on my opportunities every day.
Were you able to get to California?
Yeah, I went to California for a week.
What was that like, man?
It was fun. It was fun. You know, just going. I treat like a vacation and going to train because that's the only trip I made this all season besides going to train. But it was fun. You know, Bryce liked to wake up early. I was like, you know, it's 8 o'clock in Cali. You know, it's already traffic. I'm like, can you push it back a little bit?
I like that. Bryce likes to wake up early. Well, you get your work done, then you can enjoy it.
Get those early reps in when nobody else is looking.
I always think of like the high school kid. Oh, it's middle of the summer. I'm gonna get some extra work in. Shows up at like his high school track, and it's Bryce Young, Jonathan Mingo, and a few of the Panthers are there. Just because like you need a field to play on, right? So they just show up at some fields. Like, what in the heck happened here? There's actually just side note here. There's a legendary story that while they were still playing, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady got together to work out, and they like shared notes and kind of this is while rivals, right? Best in the world rivals got together for 2 days, and I guess they got the high school to lend them some wide receivers. And told them if anybody finds out about this, like, you know, you guys are done. I don't even know what their threat was. But can you imagine being those high schoolers and running hitches with Peyton and Tom Brady? Guess that could have happened with Jonathan Mingo and Bryce Young somewhere. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, now through Friday. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win your weight in meat. This is what we dream of. Bacon, right? We will qualify one person each weekday through this Friday to come on air and reveal their weight, and they will be one of the 10 finalists. Then we will randomly pick out of those 10 finalists and announce the winner next Monday. So listen, just text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326, and make sure your phone is somewhere you can answer it. You'll hear it at 4 o'clock over the next few days. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you could win your weight in meat. And then in addition to that, the North Carolina Pork Council will match the prize amount to donate to a local food bank. All of this presented by North Carolina Pork Council, the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. It's this simple, all right? Graham's going to call one of you that's texted him pork within the next minute or two. And if you answer it, you're pretty much qualified. That's all you have to do. And if you want to win your weight in meat, just text PORK to 919-860-5326. Do it right now. It's that simple. We'll qualify or qualify a finalist and also get to football at 4 coming up next. Win Your Weight in Meat is back on 99.9 The Fan. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 and enter for your chance to be one of our finalists. Through August 2nd, we'll pick 10 people to come on air during the Drive with me, Tim Donnelly, and share their weight. On August 5th, we will randomly select one lucky winner, and they will score their weight in meat. Served up by the North Carolina Pork Council and their dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org.
This is Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending in Cary, with 2 exciting announcements. Back in 1950, my father and uncle moved to Detroit and opened Miller Brothers Realty, a business they ran for the next 50 years. Fast forward to 1996, and I moved my family to Raleigh and opened D.J Mortgage, a company I'd named after my children. And today I'm happy to announce my sons Daniel and Justin will be leading Miller Lending as we head towards 100 years in real estate and lending, all the while following the one basic principle I learned growing up in that environment. Always treat your customer as you'd want to be treated yourself. Now, while Miller Lending has long been associated with our popular no closing cost program, I'm also excited to announce the opening of our purchase money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Lenny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless. We're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's hot and sticky out there for us this afternoon. A high of 95 degrees, feeling like around 102 to 103 with the heat index. So just be careful out there. Could be a few isolated showers and storms too, especially south of the Triangle. 74 overnight tonight and hotter tomorrow. A high of 98. It's possible that we would have a heat advisory for tomorrow. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check, of your money. Dow Jones currently up 116 points at 40,859. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Before we get to Football at 4, we have to qualify one of our 10 finalists in our Win Your Weight and Meat contest. It is Paul from Lewisburg. Paul, thank you for calling in. Congratulations. The only thing you need to do to be an official finalist is reveal your weight. What are we working with?
Well, I tell you what, the folks who are sponsoring this are definitely pulling for me to win. I tipped the Toledos at 155 pounds.
Okay. You're actually, I mean, you're not the lightest, but you are not the heaviest. And as always, we ask, like what's your style, right? Are we grilling? Are we smoking? Is there brisket? What is the preparation? Give us the whole deal.
We would be grilling, and my particular favorite is a St. Louis pork steak, which you take the Boston butt and you cut it about a 1/4 inch thick, and you grill that up, and that is fantastic eating.
Spoken like someone that's done it a time or two?
Yes, sir. Time or two.
Paul, we appreciate you. Sit on the line. Graham has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you are completely qualified, but keep your phone on next Monday, all right? We might be calling you as a winner.
Sounds great.
Everybody else, if you're not Paul from Lewisburg or one of our previously qualified finalists, there's still time for you to win your weight in meat. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win your weight in meat. And if you don't know what to do with all of it, right, you win that much, I guess you could text Paul. Paul might be able to hook you up with a recipe or two, Paul from Lewisburg, if he's not too sad that you won and he didn't. In addition to the Win Your Weight in Meat competition that you can be a part of by texting PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326. In addition to that, the North Carolina Pork Council will match the prize amount to donate to a local food bank. It's all presented by the North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. Now let's roll into Football at 4. Football at 4 today. Sometimes I come into these segments and I think I have like a really interesting take. Sometimes I think there's a stat that I want to highlight, a player, a matchup. Today I'm going to go like motivational speaker. Matt Foley, motivational speaker. I'm living in a van down by the river. Not quite that aggressive. But I'm looking at Ickey Ekwonu. And what I'm saying to Ickey Ekwonu is you need to seek out the best possible competition in practice every day. And I don't care if it makes you unpopular. I don't care if it makes you feel like a teacher's pet. I don't care if others call you a tryhard. You need to seek out in practice the best competition every single day. The Panthers are betting on Ickey Ekwonu, right? We've had this conversation. They had to bet on someone, right? They had to bet on someone. They had 100 holes on their roster, and through the draft and free agency, they couldn't come up with 100 solutions, so they had to bet on someone who struggled last year, stepping up and being better this year, and they chose Ickey Ekwonu as one of those bets, right? He was not always the most helpful in keeping Bryce Young upright last year. Pretty good run blocker, not the best pass blocker, and they were betting he could be a better pass blocker. Well, I'm seeing, hey, after the first day, Ickey Ekwonu is one of the leaders, one of the winners, right? Winner and loser, first day in pads. Who is it? Early part of camp, winners and losers. Who's doing best? Who's stocks up? Who's stocks down? I'm reading all these articles, and Ickey Ekwonu keeps popping up in the winners. The stock up. The having a good camp. And then I dive into the conversations, and it's apparently he looked good in one-on-ones. Dominated Kimoko Toure. No disrespect to Toure. He was in street clothes, not affiliated with a team a week and a half ago. Ickey Ekwonu, you face Jadeveon Clowney every time. And if you want to mix it up, K'Lavon Chaisson, Ashawn Robinson, guys with millions of dollars guaranteed on their contracts. That's who you go up against in practice. Good on good. And I know the coaching staff believes in that because they talk about it with wide receivers and defensive backs. They talk about Deontay Johnson and J.C. Horn, iron sharpening iron and being better. I don't want my starting left tackle having a rep against a third stringer in any drill ever. If Ickey Ekwonu were 33 years old and he had 4 Pro Bowls and he was making $28 million this year, then yeah, all right, let's make sure that you are saving your energy. Let's make sure that you're rested. If you're Ickey Ekwonu and you're still on your rookie contract and you were a top 10 pick and you've been underperforming and we're betting on you to be better against grade A competition, I need you facing grade A competition right now.
You need the necessary reps. You need to build up that intensity going into what needs to be, I don't want to say a prove-it season, but certainly a bounce-back season.
100% a prove-it season. 100% a bounce-back and a prove-it season. When Ickey comes up, it's his turn, right? He waits in line, drinks some water. He's up. If he's up against Kimoko Toure, or if he's up against D.J. Johnson or Amari Barno, I think they're both hurt. If he's up against somebody from the back of the depth chart, you know what he should do? No, you get out. Clowney, I want you. And Clowney might be upset, right? He might be thinking he's chilling. He might not like you very much. But I'm okay with that. I'm fine with Jadeveon Clowney not liking you in training camp. Maybe that'll actually make him want to beat you. Maybe that'll give him a little extra pep in his step. Hey, you don't want to do it, Clowney? You're taking a break? Chaisson, Robinson, heck, Derrick Brown. I don't care. You need a fast ball look. I'm not going to be impressed when your starting left tackle is beating third stringers, because guess who's not sending you a third stringer? New Orleans on September 8th in Game 1 down there in the Bayou.
There you go.
You're getting Cam Jordan. And he's talking to you, and he's talking to you, and he's trying to beat you, and he's trying to get Bryce Young on his behind.
You don't want to see a situation similar to what we saw, I believe it was, 2 years ago when he had to go up against Myles Garrett against the Browns in the season opener?
I mean, you don't want to see it, but Myles Garrett's going to be like, and if it's not Myles Garrett, because he might not be playing the Browns that week, it's somebody else's best edge rusher, right? It's Taylor Moton on one side, and it's Ickey Ekwonu on the other. Who do you think the best edge rushers are going to think they can beat? Ickey Ekwonu. I tell this story all the time. J.J. Watt, right? Because now all of a sudden J.J. Watt's willing to tell everybody all of his secrets because he's retired. But he was talking with one of the offensive linemen. This was on some podcast. And J.J. Watt used to, in the first quarter, he would do 2 or 3 plays against the right tackle, 2 or 3 plays against the right guard, 2 or 3 plays against the center, 2 or 3 plays against the left guard, 2 or 3 plays against the left tackle. Then he would go to the bench. He'd go to his defensive line coach or his defensive coordinator, and he would let him know who was fresh meat. He would go, all right, left tackle stinks. And then he would play the rest of the game right there. Mostly, right? Obviously, he'd move around because he's versatile, but he would just attack the weak link. It's not like you're the home team in hockey for, like, the face-offs, right? And you get to choose who's out there.
Yeah.
And you can kind of influence the matchups. It's not that. Offensive line gets set. Defensive line can put their guys anywhere. And if you're seen as the weak link on the offensive line, which with $20 million guard Robert Hunt and $11 million guard Damian Lewis and $20-something million offensive tackle Taylor Moton, like, you are the weak link. You're going to get the best shot. Don't go against Toure in practice. Oh, he dominated Toure. Great. That gives him a false sense of what he did was good enough. And again, no disrespect to Toure. He's a good depth piece. Veteran that they picked up after camp started. But play the guys that are going to give you a team look, a real look. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As we transition here, I want to tell you about Coach Pete and everybody over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. I've been talking about this. Actually, it's one of my favorite things about what they do when planning for your retirement at Capital Financial. It's the customization, right? It's the fact that they will build a total and customized retirement plan, because we know we're all not the same, right? Our finances aren't the same. Our lifestyles aren't the same. My lifestyle isn't the same as your lifestyle. Your lifestyle isn't the same as your neighbor's lifestyle, isn't the same as your kid's youth coach's lifestyle, isn't the same as the person in the big house down the street's lifestyle. Everybody has different wants, different needs, different financial priorities, and different incomes and different investment strategies. But what Coach Pete and Capital Financial can do is make sure the bases are covered, right? Make sure you're growing your money as much as you can to maximize your income in retirement, and make sure it's protected so you're not giving back those gains unnecessarily through costs and fees or risk that you're not comfortable with. Get your very own total and customized retirement plan from Capital Financial and Coach Pete, because it doesn't make sense to get a boilerplate one-size-fits-all plan when we are all different and we're not all the same size. Give them a call, 800-691-3215, and they will hook you up with that plan free of charge. 800-691-3215, but you have to tell them we sent you. So say, hey, I heard about it from Tim, and you're covered. 800-691-3215, or text my name, TIM, to 600-700. That's Tim to 600-700. Hit It and Quit It is coming up next. The biggest stories in sports. Stick around.
The world's best athletes are in Paris going for the gold, and 99.9 The Fan will help you follow them for all 16 days of the Summer Games through August 11th. Listen for all the action from across the Atlantic. Check in often for event reports from Paris and the updated medal count as Team USA takes on the world. Updates from the Summer Games on 99.9 The Fan are presented by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at NorthCarolinaFC.com.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-895-7664. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-895-7664 now to secure your 1904p $20 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-895-7664.
Capital Broadcasting Company and NC Beautiful award thousands of azaleas to nonprofit organizations throughout the state. If your organization would like free azaleas, visit us online at wral-gardens.com. Go to the Azalea Celebration tab and fill out an application form by August 31st. Let's keep our state looking clean and beautiful.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. The experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Dauntless is currently looking for skilled auto technicians to join the Dauntless team. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com/careers to apply.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Window Nation can help beat the heat in your home with a buy two, get two free offer on insulated, energy-efficient windows, plus 0 down and no interest or payments for 2 years. Schedule an in-home estimate now at 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Realtors. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Katie Ledecky continued her dominance with a win in the 1500 free. Our Steve Futterman has more.
Well, it's no surprise. Katie Ledecky easily wins the women's 1500-meter freestyle. It was a wire-to-wire victory. She led from the very start. It was no contest, really, and she sets another Olympic record.
Ledecky's Olympic record time of 15:32 was more than 10 seconds ahead of second place Anastasia Kirpochnikova of France. The win gives Ledecky her 12th career Olympic medal and her 8th career gold, both tying her for the most ever by an American woman. And the U.S. men's basketball team leads South Sudan 55-36 at the half. Bam Adebayo with 14 points, 6 of 6 from the floor to lead the Americans. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it, between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up, that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed, when you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy.
It is almost time for Hit It and Quit It here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. But first, the Summer Games medal count update. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the Summer Games. From France, here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. The United States still in 7th when it comes to gold. 5 gold medals, 30 overall medals. So the United States 5 clear of everybody else in the world in total medals, but trails by 3 gold medals to the People's Republic of China and Japan. They each have 8 gold medals. The United States has 5. But my hypothesis was correct. Katie Ledecky, who won a gold medal in the 1,500 meter free, completely solidified herself as one of the GOATs in the pool. Her time today in the final was the 8th fastest 1,500 meter free that a woman has ever swam in swimming history. That now gives her the fastest 20 1,500 meters ever swam by a woman or by Katie Ledecky. The entire top 20. It's like when you're a kid and you get really good at an arcade video game, and you know how you, Graham, I bet you don't even remember. You used to have to pick 3 letters to like put yourself on the high score.
I don't remember.
And if you got really good, you'd start to get to where like the whole column was just your 3 letters, right? Your initials over and over and over and over again. That's Katie Ledecky, only it's not an arcade game. It's real life, and it's a 1,500 meter swim. She picked up a gold medal and gives the United States 5 gold after coming into the day with 4. Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. Now we jump into Hit It and Quit It. I'll get us started, right? This is where we line up the biggest stories in sports, talk about them, hit on it, and then we quit it and we move on to the next. North Carolina State versus South Carolina. Club hockey set to play a game at Truist Field in Charlotte on November 23rd.
Yep, Tuffy Talk was the one that Tuffy Talk podcast, a fan podcast of NC State Athletics, was the one that released this news when they had NC State Ice Pack head coach Tim Healy on their podcast episode about 8 hours ago. So we saw this happen with North Carolina, of course, when the Stadium Series was in town. They figured, hey, if the ice is going to be there, why not play an outdoor hockey game? I'm not sure that's how that actually worked, but it was still pretty cool. So why not do this in Charlotte, Truist Field, where you've actually started to see a lot of teams, like App State, I think UNC Charlotte played a club hockey game there a couple, maybe last year. So good for the two programs.
I think one of the underrated things that sports can do is play in really cool venues. It makes it a thing. We're seeing it with the outdoor games in the NHL. You're seeing it a little bit with Florida State and I think Georgia Tech or something are playing in Dublin. Those are really cool. Or you see it in bowl games. Sometimes they play in like Fenway or they play in Yankee Stadium. Yep. I think that's awesome. Or the United States Olympic swimming trials were in Colts Stadium.
Well, heck, just the Final Fours in general.
Final Fours are always in a cool spot. It makes it like, it's another reason to sell T-shirts, right? We're all fans. We like gear. You wear that T-shirt for a long time, right? Oh, I was there when they played that one game in blah, 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 blah. Like play an NBA game in Cameron Indoor. Why not, right? Get the Celtics with Jason Tatum against the New Orleans with Zion and played in Cameron Indoor.
Try to find the 2 NBA teams that have the most former Duke players and just do like a brotherhood classic.
Get the Mavericks with Kyrie and Derek Lively and play against another team with the Lakers with J.J. Redick coaching them and play it in Cameron Indoor. I think that's an added thing that sports can lean on to make. I mean, let's be real. Some NBA games, 82-game season, it's a lot of games.
And at the Dean Domes too.
I mean, I just picked one. You could do it at Rupp Arena. You could do it in
well, I know State fans are out there going, "This is supposed to be our segment. Why is Duke and Carolina getting involved?"
It's a sports segment. I'm complimenting the NC State club hockey team for setting this up and saying others, right? It's copycat league. Others should look at what they're doing and bring it back. Like, I mean, the soccer stuff that comes through, right? We just had what was it? Man City and Celtic come through Keenan. Like, those things are fun. And all that's different. Like, that's just a friendly. That's just a soccer game. But you put it in a different location around different people with a different backdrop, it feels different.
And here's the thing for NC State fans, and the only reason I say this is because some of my buddies that traveled to almost every NC State game, they're diehard fans. NC State's playing that game against Georgia Tech on the Thursday prior, November 21st. If you're a State fan going down to Atlanta, why not just make the road trip and stop in Charlotte on the way back? Make it a Wolfpack weekend.
Why not play a college basketball game in the Sphere?
That'd be nuts.
How crazy would that be? Probably mess with their depth perception. But hey, tickets would be expensive. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
I hit it so good.
Speaking of Cameron Indoor, Duke men's basketball announced today countdown to craziness set for October 4th. Can I critique Duke basketball just a hair?
Okay.
Football practice started yesterday. You can't give them a week of excitement before you're already going, hey, basketball season's around the corner. Their practice started yesterday. Manny Diaz is trying to lay the foundation of something with this football program. And I know Duke, Duke basketball, big deal. I know. Come on, right? You can't give them that spotlight for 3 days.
I don't know. When you have Cooper Flagg on your roster, it's the same thing with Zion. That's the equivalent of the hype that we're seeing for Duke basketball this season. It's almost like, I'm not saying Duke fans are like, can we just skip over football season? But the anticipation certainly is building if you're a Blue Devil fan.
Yeah, but wait a week. What's the difference between like 55 days and 62 days?
No, I get that, but I mean, at least, well, I don't want to jump ahead to our next topic, but I kind of get what you're saying.
It's just like, if it just seems like you just proposed to somebody at somebody else's wedding. So yeah, you're stealing some thunder here.
It's a fair point.
Could have waited a week. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
How you doing?
You lead this one since you almost brought us into it.
Since I almost just slid right into it. Well, speaking of Duke football, they did introduce the new Devil's Deck to Brooksfield at Wallace Wade Stadium. Available for this upcoming season, it's an all-exclusive tiered deck that spans over 7 sections, accommodates just over 1,500 fans, and offers a unique social experience to continue tailgating, while watching the Blue Devils compete on the gridiron. It's going to go in the north end zone, so the end zone kind of going towards Cameron Indoor Stadium, so above Duke's student section.
This is – I'm going to take this bigger picture here. We've been talking a lot of Duke. I anticipated this happening when players started to make money. Schools now have to operate better as businesses, right? There's a lot of money that they were leaving on the table, right? You look at a college stadium or a college arena, and then you go look at an NFL arena or an NBA arena where they have to be efficient in their business practices. What do the college often not have? They don't have all the suites. They don't have all the premium seating, right? So what have we heard? Now Duke football is putting in a Devil's Deck, which gets you the little bit better access, the DJ, gets you some all-you-can-eat food options. What have we learned? We've heard UNC wants to either redo the Dean Dome or build a new one so they can have more of those corporate suites and everything. You got to make the money now.
Well, I just feel like, because I saw somebody comment on this post when it was announced, and they were kind of saying, to me, it just feels like college football is being taken away from the actual experience on the field and more about the atmosphere of the stadium. But hey, get with the times. I mean, that's about what every college football stadium is doing nowadays. You've seen it with Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium down in Greenville. That's almost an SEC caliber stadium. NC State has renovations coming to Carter Finley in the near future. Wouldn't surprise Carolina a couple of seasons back with the Blue Zone. I mean, it's just It's the times of college football.
It is not going to affect the on-the-field thing. I don't think it'll affect much of the game day experience, but it'll make more money. It'll make more money. Money, money, money.
Well, here's the thing. They've made it pretty reasonable to sit in this section because it says passes for the Devil's Deck begin at $45 a person if purchased at least 24 hours prior to kickoff, $55 on game day, and then for the student rate is $35. So it's not like they're charging you an arm and a leg to sit here.
But it's $35 they wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what I'm saying, where like they finally have to find the money that, like, it used to be you just go to the boosters, you ask for money. They give it to the team. Team now has money. Now you go to the boosters, you ask them to give money to the players. Team doesn't have money. They got to make their money. All right, let's put together a Devil's Deck with a part of the stadium that we used to charge normal prices for, get an extra $35 per person at least, and then we can spend that money on recruiting or whatever else coaching salaries and merchandise and everything else.
I mean, now it kind of makes sense. I mean, Duke just redid the locker room. They upgraded a little bit, so maybe this is a way that they put a little bit of money back into their athletic department's pockets, or they distribute it out amongst the Olympic sports.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Duke football? Hell yes, it's Duke football.
I'm interested in this one, Graham. Graham put together our list of hit it and quit it today. College football's toughest and easiest schedules for 2024. What's the report you have for us?
So as you begin to wrap your mind around all the movement in college football and begin to get ready to set your tailgates out, pack your coolers, ESPN put out a list today ranking the toughest overall Power 4 conference schedules, Power 5, you name it. And there are 2 ACC teams that cracked the list. And I'm a little surprised. Paul Iher and I discussed this morning on Next Up. I'm surprised at the 2 teams out of the ACC that made this. So easiest overall Power 4 schedule for the ACC, SMU. They only have one so far preseason ranked top 25 opponent on their schedule, and it's Florida State, who they open ACC play with at home on September 28th.
So they're easiest, is what you say in the ACC.
Yes. Matter of fact, 4 of their first 5 games are at home, and they end the season against Pittsburgh, Boston College, Virginia, and Cal. Only the Virginia game is on the road out of that slate.
Yeah, it does look easy. I just brought it up. I think part of it is when you are a group of 5 team, like your non-conference schedule is probably decided when you were a group of 5 team. Now you're a Power 5 team. Looks a little easy, right? Nevada, Houston Christian, BYU, and TCU. But if you catch BYU or TCU on the wrong year, they could be a good team. They get both Stanford and Cal. They get Pittsburgh and Boston College. Duke after a coaching change. There's some luck there, but let's remember this. Actually, this is what we should do. Let's put a pin in this and remember it. So as the year goes along, when people want to, when SMU has 2 losses and some better team has 4, and everybody wants to go, SMU's so much better. Let's remember, well, actually, they're playing an extremely easy schedule. They might not be better. They might just have the easier schedule.
Right. There's also other calibers to this. Like there's a category of like toughest 3-game stretch, cutest toughest to close the season, and then toughest to open the season. By the way, that's the other ACC team that cracked that category. That's Clemson. It doesn't get much tougher than facing number 1 Georgia August 31st in a neutral site in Atlanta. Then a week later, App State comes to Death Valley. The Mountaineers are perhaps the Sun Belt's best team, and no stranger to making life tough for the big boys, just ask Michigan. And then after the bye, Clemson faces a pair of top 15 teams over the next 3 weeks with number 13, NC State at home on September 21st. That's also opening ACC play. Then number 11, Florida State on the road October 5th. Their schedule is very top-heavy, and I know the big question around ACC kickoff is Clemson back. Well, by mid-October, we'll know if Clemson's back or not.
We'll know if they're back, and I'm interested to see how they react if they get punched in the face. That's an easy 3-2, 2-3 start. Like that, you don't even have to play bad and be 3-2. You don't have to play bad and be 2-3, right? Lose just to good teams and hard-fought games. I think you beat Stanford. I think if you handle your business against App, but Georgia, NC State, and Florida State, you lose those games, you're not even embarrassed by them individually. but 2 and 3 you're embarrassed by. And then they might end with just the 3 losses looking at the rest of their schedule. But it's more how they would react, right? They're all loyal. They're all Clemson together, Clemson forever, all in, Clemson. You lose 3 of your first 5 games. Let's see how many fingers get pointed. Maybe you should have hit the transfer portal. It's a tough schedule, though. No doubt about that. Tough start to their schedule. Let's quit that. Let's hit this. Damn! There's an Ohio bill, like a piece of legislation, that would require pro teams to play on natural grass, not artificial turf. Can I be the first to say, yeah, why is this taking so long? I talk to athletes all the time. I've yet to find one that likes turf over grass. The only thing I will say is there are some lacrosse players, soccer players, field hockey players that like the true bounce of turf, right? You never get like a tuft of grass that bounces the ball in a different way. But as far as football goes, which, let's be real, bills are the legislation is usually made with a target towards football because it's where most of the money is made. Grass. Have any of you ever been tackled? That's all you need to know. What feels better, getting tackled on grass or on cement?
Especially when it's like, let's just take North Carolina for the state of North Carolina, for example, when it's that cold last regular season game in the college football season. And, well, that's not a great example because it could either be 70 Thanksgiving weekend or it could be 30. But, yeah, when it's cold outside, that's like getting tackled on concrete.
Well, actually, cold is kind of a little bit of an equalizer, right? Because then ground can freeze also, and that's just as hard. But at the beginning of the year, landing on nice, well-manicured grass versus landing on turf, not to mention the different scrapes and all your skin getting ripped off from sliding on turf burn. This one makes it's a one-time cost, right? Like, look at what Arizona does. If you can grow grass in Arizona, the Cardinals, they literally grow their grass in like a tray and wheel it into the stadium and out of the stadium as they see fit to get sun and water and have it in the if they can do that, then like around here we can have grass. Ohio seems easy.
It's mostly aimed at the Cincinnati Bengals, too, which installed a new, nearly $1 million synthetic turf field at Paycor Stadium ahead of this season.
Well, you can grandfather that in, let them use it for 5 years or something like that. What it is for, really, the reason why you use turf in stadiums is because then you can wheel out concert stages and you can do all this other stuff and you don't have to worry about the grass dying underneath.
That's a very fair point.
It's a little bit of work. It's a little bit of work for safety and for players being happier. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You're killing me, Petey! You're killing me!
Court of Arbitration at the Olympics rejects Canada's Olympic appeal, upholds 6-point soccer penalty, and the penalty that they received was for spying on their opponent with drones. To give me the most 2024 thing ever. And the Olympics, right? All that honor, all that playing for your country, all of the tears in your eyes while your national anthem plays. Canada was out there trying to spy on practice with a drone. Which, by the way, I know drones seem stealthy. Have you ever been somewhere where there's a drone in the air?
Yes. It makes the most noise.
You are not sneaking up on anybody. I've been at weddings where the photographer has a drone in the air. And the officiant is like, what in the heck is that? Zzz, right above everybody. You're going to get away with that at an Olympic practice? I don't think so. By the way, there was an NC State football game last year that I think they paused and the refs were like, whoever that is got to go. There were drones hanging up above Carter Finley. But I think it's more possible, right, more plausible that you might be able to get away with it up there for a couple of minutes when there's a full stadium. Not when at practice for an Olympic soccer. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Bye, Felicia.
NFL to test the Hawkeye system for the line to gain in some preseason games. That means digital first down. They'll be able to tell whether the football is spotted past the first down or not? This is another kind of, yeah, of course. Do you realize how much technology has advanced? Has anyone ever golfed with somebody who's Mr. Gadget? Right? They're breaking out like yardage, the range finders. They're breaking out all this stuff. And they can tell down to the yard how far away they are over water, over trees. They use elevation. They'll tell you how high or how low the undulation is. All of that off of a little thing I can keep in my pocket. Yet the NFL needed a chain gang, needed 3 guys walking out there guesstimating where they put down these chain markers.
The goal is to reduce a significant amount of time, 40 seconds for each time to use that basically is making the game that much more powerful, said Neil Manowitz, Sony President and Chief Operations Officer.
Do you know what else we need? Just a camera pointed directly down the goal line. Ball crosses the camera, you're in. Ball doesn't, not a touchdown. That stuff seems easy, doesn't it? Put a camera on every sideline. Zoom in, foot was in, foot was out. Catch or no catch. We now know.
This to me feels a little more, well, it's not really the same, but it's the robotic umps, which I know we're kind of testing the minor league system for a little bit. I really haven't even heard much more about it.
To me, it's more like tennis, where when the ball is in or out, they just throw their finger up in the air quickly. Everybody looks at the Jumbotron and like a weird like cartoon, like cartoon of where the ball lands. There's the shadow on everywhere it hit the ground, and it's in or out, and everybody either goes like yes or darn, and then you go right back to playing.
You know, it'd be a great sport to try this out at, or try some kind of technology like this in hockey. Did the puck go over the goal line or not?
Do you not remember the purple puck? Yeah, you're young. Every time we stumble upon new ways that Graham is very young. Right after the yellow first down marker became...
What's this purple puck?
Right after the yellow first down line became a thing in football, hockey tried with the purple puck because people were having a hard time knowing where the puck was. So they tried to make the puck purple. The problem was the technology hadn't caught up to it yet, so it left like a trail. So it was like lagged, if you will.
Like somebody just spilled purple Gatorade on the ice?
Yeah, it didn't work. Didn't work. That's it for Hit and Quit It here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. It's fun hit and quit it there. When we come back, we're going to dive further into expectations for each of the 3 college football teams from the Triangle. That's all happening next. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Dak Prescott should be the one voice in that organization. He always says the right thing. He always presents a great front, and he always presents team first, winning, class. He's awesome. He should be the one voice. They will never do it. There shouldn't be the Jerry Jones weekly radio show. There shouldn't be the Jerry Jones press conferences, all the different things he says. But that man, Dak Prescott, should be the one voice in that organization.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Why do you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry. In the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm Olympic gold medalist Raleigh Gaines. Did you know that the world's largest multi-sport event in 2029 will take place right here in Central North Carolina? It's the World University Games, which will feature over 7,000 of the world's best collegiate athletes competing in 18 Olympic sports at venues across much of Central North Carolina. It's not too early to learn more about or even get involved in the World University Games.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I just had a weird phenomena. Graham, where do you know this song from?
Oh, what is this? The skate video. The skate video.
No, not the same thing.
We went two different directions, apparently.
This was in one of the NCAA football soundtracks. I think. I have a very
Do you know what year it would be?
07 maybe. I have a very vivid memory of like being on a load screen, creating a player, and that song playing, and maybe even like doing option attack or something. I'm pretty sure it was NCAA football. What's the name of that song? Look it up. NCAA football.
Train in Vain. I also need to just find out what this skate video was.
And I don't think I've heard that song since.
I know there are so many people that listen to our show that know that I'm young because I don't know what the Purple Puck is, but then they're like, how does Graham know Train in Vain, Stand By Me by the Clash, if he doesn't know that?
That does make sense. But I just had one of those, like, there's something like smells, they say, can put you right into a place, like a memory. That song just put me right into, I think it was NCAA football.
Rodney Mullen. That's the skate highlight video.
Rodney Mullen. Don't know
Almost
who that is.
round 3.
Don't know who that is. Also, to keep you updated on some Olympic stuff here, the United States men's basketball team playing South Sudan. After South Sudan gave them a run in their exhibition, came down to the last possession, the United States are up 94-74.
Also, NCAA football 2006.
2006.
Train in Vain was part of the soundtrack.
I was close. I said 07. Yeah, I said 07. Darn. Let's play some if-then statements. This is something I use to help basically kind of focus in my thoughts, right? Anytime I make a prediction, I think to myself, and I don't always do this on air. Sometimes it's off air just to kind of collect my thoughts. If, then. And what that means is if blank happens, then blank will happen. It's very simple. I'm not acting like I'm reinventing the wheel here. But earlier today, we set kind of the minimum goals for success for the 3 ACC football teams in the Triangle. Basically, are they championship or bust? Are they 10-win or bust? Are they this, that, or bust? So we set it for NC State as they are blank or bust would be win 10 games or bust. For Duke, it's be bowl eligible or bust. For UNC, it's 8 wins and the Doak Walker Award for Omari and Hampton or bust. So I thought we'd hit some if-then statements. If blank happens, then NC State will win at least 10 games. Let's try to set it, right? What needs to happen? If blank happens, then Duke will be bowl eligible, and UNC will do it for all 3. Which one are we starting with, Graham?
I say we just go in the order of which we did during our 99 questions. So NC State.
All right. Here's how I answer that question. If blank, then NC State will win at least 10 games. Should we have another Graham is Young conversation? You ever see the match game?
Okay, I do know the match game.
All right, so you know about filling
know the match game.
Joe is so tall. How tall is he? That when he eats blank. No, never mind.
NC State is so good. How good are they?
Yeah, there we go. Gene Rayburn. If blank happens, then NC State will win at least 10 games. If Grayson McCall completes 70% of his passes, then NC State will win at least 10 games. That's what I'm saying. He was a 69.9% passer at Coastal Carolina. He has better, granted, up against better competition, but he has better players around him, and he needs to be the ultimate traffic cop, right?
The offense runs through Grayson McCall.
He needs to be the pass-first point guard, get the ball into the hands of his playmakers, don't force anything. That's what needs to happen for them to be at their best. If he does that, I believe they'll win 10 games. Tony Gibson will have the defense good enough. Running game will be good enough. Grayson McCall needs to distribute the football and complete at least 70% of his passes. If that happens, they'll win at least 10 games. Dave Doran, the head coach for NC State, was asked by us about what he's looking for from Grayson McCall. This was his answer.
Very, very grateful that he's here. One, excited for him. Impressed by him. He understands the game. He's a quick learner. He's a really good teammate. Goes hard, holds himself to a high standard. Has no problem holding guys accountable, and he does it in a good way. You know, he's demanding but not demeaning with people. He's got great touch on the football, his game management skills, his clock management, I mean, everything. He's a vet, you know, and he's a great fit in our program.
Clock management. Be a veteran. Be a traffic cop. When I say traffic cop, this is something my coach used to yell at me. Be a traffic cop. Make sure everyone's in their right spot. Make sure everybody knows what they're doing. Get all your motions taken care of, right? All right, come on. Nope, go back. Make sure the offensive line is in the right protection. If you just make sure everything is right, you'll save so many blow-up plays from happening. If you just throw it where you're supposed to throw it to the place that the read takes you. If you just do the basics, right? Red light, stop. Green light, go. If you're just a traffic cop, this offense is good enough, talented enough to make the plays.
And Robert Knigh's a good enough offensive coordinator. We talked about this yesterday where that's been his bit throughout his career is adapting to the play style skills that his quarterback has to adapt his offensive system around the quarterback to then distribute the ball to the playmakers.
Exactly. Let's jump to the next team. Which one are we going to next?
We are going to go to UNC.
UNC. If blank happens, UNC will reach 8 wins, and Omarion Hampton will win the Doak Walker Award. This one might be, it seems a little counterintuitive. If whoever the quarterback is throws for at least 2,200 yards, then UNC will win 8 games, and Omarion Hampton will win the Doak Walker. 2,200 yards. That's not a ton, right? You're going to play 12 games. You're looking at less than 200 yards a game. Only 7 passers in the ACC threw for at least 2,200 yards last year. So it's not nothing, but it's not slinging the rock 45 times. It's enough to keep the defense honest. If you have a quarterback that's good enough to throw for 2,200 yards and make a play here or there, that's enough to make safeties not creep down into the box. That's enough to make edge rushers think they have to get after the quarterback. It's enough to make them not sell out to stop the run on every play, and that's all it's going to take. I think they can surprise some people if they get a certain base level of like top half of the league quarterback play. Most teams need, if Duke's going to win 8-9 games, they're going to need their quarterback to be really gosh darn good. UNC, I think, can get by because of how talented their running game is with above average ACC quarterback play. 2,200 yards. That's what I said it at. Bryson Nesbitt, UNC tight end, was asked about the potential strengths of the offense. Here he is.
Obviously our running game, we have I was at a better offensive line this year, and, Omarion's only getting better. And we have the backups of Caleb Hood and Darwin Barlow. And, also, our play action game, our medium passing game, I think just as an offense, we're trying to be as balanced as we can be, whether that be the deep pass, the run game. So, I think as tight ends, I think just us trying to figure out the best way that we can fit in that and kind of on every level, it's just that we have to figure out. So.
They'll figure it out. Let's get to Duke. If blank, then Duke will be bowl eligible. You probably think I'm going to go something quarterback here, right? If Malik Murphy or Grayson Loftus. If I'm going the opposite way. If the defense remains in the top 5 in the ACC, then they will be bowl eligible.
Okay.
They were best in the ACC last year at 19 points per game allowed.
That was one of their biggest strengths.
The headlines are always going to go to the offense. Riley Leonard, the big plays, always going to go to Jordan Moore, always going to go to Jordan Waters, always going to go to Jaquez Moore, because offense sells tickets, right? Offense is fantasy football. It's fun. The defense is a big part of the reason why those guys got to star, right? They weren't winning games, at least not many of them, 40-32. They were winning games, low 20s to teens.
They held Clemson to 7 points in that season opener, and then they held Notre Dame to just 21 points later on that season.
That's why they were in those games. And with Manny Diaz being a defensive coordinator, as his background in coaching, and Duke having some talent on that side of the ball, I'm not asking them to duplicate that, right? Basically, last year, the top 5 teams in the ACC were around 3 touchdowns or less per game, 21 and change per game or less allowed. If Duke can stay in that realm, I think they could be bowl eligible. If the defense isn't as good, then you're going to need the offense to pull some rabbits out of their hat. You're going to need Malik Murphy or Grayson Loftus to play better. You're going to need a lot more. But I think they can be bowl eligible on the back of their defense, which is no small feat. And then you can laugh at, Mike Elko and everything for leaving, just like Mac Brown did. How about that? Mac Brown talked a little bit of trash to Mike Elko. Do you think that united, even for one moment, Duke and UNC fans?
No.
No?
Well, I don't know. It's not basketball, so maybe
Duke fans love Mike Elko left jokes. Mac Brown made a Mike Elko left joke. I'm not sure if that's enough to bridge the gap, but there's possibilities there. That's all I'm saying. There are possibilities there. By the way, we talked about Mac Brown earlier this week and his kind of saltiness at ACC Media Day. You can check that out on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Find that anywhere your phone has connection. Just go on YouTube, search 99.9 The Fan.
We have hit over 900 total videos.
900 total videos on our YouTube channel. That's the kind of effort.
Just for the drive.
That's just for this show, which has only been around for a little over a year. That's the kind of effort. So that's like 3 videos a day. A little less, but still, even on days we don't have a show, it's pretty good. That's the kind of effort we're putting into our YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. You can take in all that content in addition to Kane's Corner Podcast, Pack Therapy Podcast, which will be starting up here shortly again, Panthers Playbook Podcast. There's so many. Victoria with her combat sports stuff. There's so much going on. And it's all on our YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan, and The Drive, and Adam Gold Show, and everything else. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the starting 5 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready?
From 54, snap and hold are good. Kick is on the way, plenty of leg, and it is good!
Over the middle it goes, and he's got Puka Nacua to the 30, to the 20. No one's going to catch him.
Back to throw. Crosby off the edge, and he's got him back at the 23! Tua back to throw. Deep down the numbers on the left, and the Cheetahs got it! Touchdown!
The NFL kicks off August 1st on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time.
Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $5.99. That's right, just $5.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always Bo time.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Drive into summer with a new Honda. Make an impression with the unmistakable style of the HR-V or turn heads in the sporty Civic. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2025 HR-V or at 4.9% APR on a 2025 Civic.
Contact your local Carolina Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right. Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We had a hot and humid afternoon. Tonight's low only 74. Can't rule out a shower or storm. It's about a 20% chance. We have a heat advisory in effect for the day on Thursday. The high 98. The heat index value could reach 107.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones closes the day up 99 points at 40,842. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5, and we'll start with number 5. We're going to hit a little audible here, Graham. Check at the line. So Graham doesn't even know what I'm about to say right now. This is fun. This is living on the edge. This is live radio.
So nervous.
The ACC preseason poll for the 2024 season came out.
Just dropped.
Florida State, 81 first-place votes. They are in first. Clemson, 55 first-place votes. They are in second. Miami, 17 second-place votes. They are in third. This is the ACC preseason poll. NC State, 8 first-place votes in fourth. Louisville in fifth with no first-place votes. Virginia Tech in sixth with 5 first-place votes, followed up by SMU in seventh, North Carolina in eighth, Georgia Tech with a first-place vote in ninth, Cal with 2 first-place votes in 10th, Duke in 11th, Cuse, Pitt, Boston College with a first-place vote, makes no sense, in 14th, Wake Forest in 15th, UVA and Stanford bringing up the rear. First of all, I've said this before, and this is not an insult to any specific media members. But as somebody that, as a player, very much, cared about where we were in preseason rankings and who on the team was first team and who on the team was second team and who's being honored, who's being disrespected. How did they not put my guy on the first team? The more and more I'm around and get to be a media member and vote in these sort of things, there's so many, and again, not any individuals I'm calling out. There's so many uneducated voters. The fact that people put in first Georgia Tech, Cal, or Boston College is absurd. Now, I get that this is an up and down year, or this is a spread out year, and there might be 4 or 5 teams with first place votes. I have no problem with people sprinkling a little on Virginia Tech. They're my dark horse. No problem with NC State getting 8 first place votes. But beyond that, it's like, okay, so you either didn't take this seriously, or you think it's time to stand out and be a homer. I don't have any massive issues with the list. If you wanted to put North Carolina a little bit higher, I'd be fine with it. If you wanted to drop a team like Miami, I didn't have them as high as they are in third. I think there's a lot of Miami hype that comes with being the U. I think there are certain things that name recognition, because here's what happens, right? The big names matter in polls. It's daunting, right? I talked about this with the All-ACC predictions, or the All-ACC team selections that I made. You sit down, and there's a lot of – it's like, oh, gosh, right? I don't know anything about Cal. I don't know any. I haven't studied up on Wake or SMU. Clemson's got to be better, right? Miami's got to be better, right? Louisville's, like, whatever the brand name is, you think like, oh, if I don't know anything about either of these two teams, tiebreaker will go to the bigger name. It's flawed. That's all I'm going to say. It's flawed. Other than that, the list looks mostly okay, right? Other than that, the list looks mostly okay. I don't have any huge flaws. Anything stand out to you, Graham?
It's hard to disagree with all your logic.
I mean, if you like, I've heard some people are high on Stanford. Them being dead last might be a little bit of a surprise. Syracuse, some are high on. Being 12th might be a little low.
Where does SMU rank again?
7th.
7th? Yeah, a lot of people are expecting them. I mean, naturally, a lot of people are expecting them to be.
And now that we've broken down their schedule, I mean, being 7th with an easy schedule might mean they're the 10th best team in the league, and that's not outlandish. That was the media voted ACC preseason poll for the 2024 season. NC State, just to give you a breakdown on the North Carolina teams. NC State 4th, UNC 8th, Duke 11th, Wake all the way down in 15 out of 17 teams. This is the lowest Wake's ever been ranked, because they didn't have 15 teams in this thing ever before. So it has to be. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
All right, so what's going on here, Graham? There's a high school presentation going on to argue that North Carolina high school students should be allowed to make NIL money?
Yes, North Carolina High School OT was the first to report on this. There was a meeting today among members of the board for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association to go over the proposed bill to allow high school athletes to start making money off name, image, and likeness opportunities. Lasts about 40 minutes. It's actually done already, and we have listened to our state. We have listened to our sister states across the country, and our membership has said we need to do something so we're not caught trying to catch up to an issue that is in place. That was Q Tucker, in North Carolina High School Athletic Association commissioner.
Here's how I look at all of this. Once one state does it, or a state near you does it, meaning makes name, image, and likeness payments to high school athletes allowed, you kind of have to open it up. And here's why. Like if, say, Virginia allowed it, or South Carolina, right? Or any state nearby allowed name, image, and likeness payments for high school athletes, and North Carolina didn't. If you are an athlete that is very good, that might be able to sign a shoe contract for $30,000 a year. Don't you think you might be willing to go live across state lines?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Does this now open up almost recruiting in high school athletics? Like, does a 4A high school look at an athlete from a 2A high school, both either private or public?
See, I don't think maybe. I'm not going to say no because, I've said no about this stuff in the past and it's come back to be right. But what I will say is I don't think you're looking at getting every player paid. I think realistically, there's 100 high school athletes a year across the country that can make any significant amount of money, right? Beyond the local burger joint's giving the team a free meal every Thursday before Friday night football. Like that stuff, all they got to do is tweet about us. That's fine. That'll happen. But I think there's 100 athletes every year that get famous enough that they can make some real money. And those 100 athletes are usually the best athletes or the son or daughter of a famous athlete, right? Like Bronny James Jr. in high school would have been able to make some money. And those 100 athletes, if one of them ends up being in your state, will leave if they can make money in another state.
Now, it was noted that recruiting is illegal in the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Having an NIL policy in place would not change that.
I just don't see how they'd enforce it, which is the same thing that the NCAA ran into. Once money's being exchanged, how do you enforce it? Hey, if you play for the East High Wildcats, we'll give you $30,000. Oh, actually, I'm going to play for the West High Bulldogs. Never mind. Is that recruiting? That's not recruiting, but it's recruiting.
I mean, you did bring up a good point how this has already kind of started in some other states for high school athletics. It's already happening in the bordering states of Georgia, Tennessee, and Virginia. They've all adopted NIL policies allowing high school athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness.
So, for example, Cooper Flagg's coming to play at Duke. His brother is transferring into play in I think Greensboro Day. Ace Flagg. There's probably going to be some opportunities for him to make some money if it's legal in North Carolina. If it's not legal in North Carolina and Virginia, some prep school says, hey, come here, we'll hook you up with $15,000-$20,000. Is he wrong for leaving? So you just got to open it up, then you can keep the players that are around. Make it even. But also I hear all the old-timers. I can hear you already. It's ridiculous. High school, what are you going to do? Toothpaste is out of the tube. You can fight against it, or you can get with it. Adapt or die. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Our very own Dennis Cox, he's been out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, but he did a little bit of work for us. He talked with Tommy Tremble out at Carolina Panthers training camp. Tommy Tremble, one of my favorite stats, same amount of NFL experience as Kyle Pitts, who was the 4th overall pick as a tight end. Tommy Tremble, more touchdowns scored than Kyle Pitts. But anyway, Dennis Cox for the podcast, the Panthers Playbook podcast that you can find on 99.9 The Fan's YouTube page. He talked to Tommy Tremble, and this is how that conversation went.
All right, being joined here by Carolina Panthers tight end, that is Tommy Tremble. All right, Tommy, you've had a couple different head coaches here in the NFL so far. What has the culture been like with Dave Canales as head coach? Today was first day of padded practice. What's the culture been like? How different has it been?
I think collectively as a whole team, really being able to buy into what he's talking about. Yeah. And we all want to win the season. We all are tired of the stigma around the Panthers. We don't want that. We work all too hard for that. And he gives us that boost, that belief that anything comes up, we can talk to him and build on it. There's no any type of feelings. We all have the same goal, and that's amazing, man. I love it.
How has your confidence level gone up?
I think, especially over the last few years, having really good vets like Ian Thomas, Colin Thompson, Hayden Hurst, those kind of guys, Stephon Sullivan, those guys really helped build my confidence when I got here as a young kid at 20 years old. And now going into my 4th year, I got all the confidence in the world because of them. And so because of them, my coaches, and everyone we've had, it's really built me up for this moment.
A lot of turnover, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Again, new coaches, different guys and groups that are coming in. But how have the guys who have been here in the past, yourself, Bryce, Thielen, guys that carried over from last year, how much does the motivation from last year carry over with these new guys and the new coaching staff?
I think it's it's hard not to see it, man. These guys, we want to win. We want to compete. Everyone works their butt off to give their best and not only earn respect in the league, but earn respect for ourselves, earn respect for the team we play for the Carolinas themselves. We all thrive for that. And so all of us, especially from last year that felt that kind of pain, we don't ever want to go through that again.
Pretty spirited practice today. Again, first padded practice here at Panthers training camp. Who's kind of driving that competitive nature? Is it coming from Coach Canales? Is it guys on the field? Is it a combination of both?
I love it because it's coming from both the coaches and the players. You know, some defensive guys hollering at it, defensive guys going hard, some offensive guys calling it out, waiting for it. They're excited. They can't wait till pads are on today. Chuba Hubbard got hit in the middle of practice. He didn't complain, he didn't whatever. He loves that stuff because he knows he's going to go the next day even harder. And so I think all of us are buying into that culture of what we're trying to build.
I think the one thing you can always guarantee at training camp, when wide receivers and tight ends make a catch, they're going to let you know about it. If the ball is not caught, the DBs are going to let you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
That trash talk, it never goes away.
No, never, man. But that's what being a competitor is. That's what playing at the highest level, you got to have fun some way. And some guys gain their confidence from that. Some guys gain their confidence from talking crap, talking whatever. But I love it because it brings the best out of both parties, man.
Awesome. Tommy, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Good luck this year. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Once again, that was our very own Dennis Cox out at Panthers training camp with Tommy Tremble, tight end for the Panthers. By the way, that's just a little snippet. That and more from Dennis Cox and Chris Lee will be on the Panthers Playbook podcast, which you can find on 99.9 The Fan's YouTube page. I like that they're embracing the trash talk. You know, I talk about this a lot, but teams take on the image of their coach, and I'm not sure that Dave Canales strikes me as a trash talker.
Yeah.
But he does strike me as like a talker, right? He's a chatterbox. I bet at practice there is a lot of words being said. If the players want to make them a little bit more of a competitive nature, a little bit of a I'm going to challenge you, you can challenge me, a little trash talk. I like that.
Bingo. You're better than that, man. Come on, man. Be better.
Oh,
be better.
Is that your Dave Canales?
Something like that.
That's your Dave Canales impression? All right, hold on. No, let's go. Give your Dave Canales impression.
Bryce, all right, listen. This offense runs through you. In order for us to be better, you need to be better.
Give him
right?
a little Southern accent. He's a little bit of a high-pitched Mac Brown.
Go. Just I know, now I feel like I'm just going straight Mac Brown. Go through your progressions. If it's not there, throw it away,
Billy
man.
Bob Thornton from Friday Night Lights.
You played in this league a whole season. You don't have to fit it through those tight windows. You got this, man.
I like it. That's
or I'll give the
hilarious.
reps to Plumber.
That's number 3. Let's get to number 2. The Carolina Hurricanes had 2 introductory press conferences today. They've basically divided up their former Don Waddell role into 3 roles. Eric Tulsky as kind of the hockey guy, and then they have 2. Which we spoke to one of them earlier today. We spoke to Doug Warf earlier today.
Out on YouTube.
Hey, check that out on YouTube. There you go. And they kind of basically took the business side out of the hockey guys off his plate. That's the word I'm looking for. And one of the things they talked about at these intro press conferences a whole bunch is getting Major League Baseball to Raleigh. There's a lot to bite off here, a lot to chew, right? Eyes bigger than their stomach, maybe a little bit. Right now, the Canes have, obviously, the hockey, right? Eric Tulsky supposedly taking that, but how much money are you going to spend? How do you maximize the marketing efforts? How do you make the game day experience better? How do you make the concourse better? How does PNC work for you? They also have this development project, right? Which is hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to go into a music venue and restaurants and bars and entertainment districts and stores that are going to be surrounding PNC and Carter Finley.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's about 800 feet of acres that they can work with around the arena.
80 acres.
80 acres?
I think. 800 would be.
It involves 8 and 0.
800 would be quite a few acres.
Let me double check this. It is 80 acres.
But that is a massive undertaking. It's going to take years, decades to see all that through. And then, toss this in there. Bring Major League Baseball to Raleigh. Now, I'm trying to be realistic here. and talk about how difficult it would be to make juggle all of those things and keep them in the air at the same time. But I'm rooting for you. I think it would be an awesome baseball market. I think it's the one thing we're missing, right? Because, is the NBA here? No. Is the NFL here? No. But we do have pretty darn good college football, pretty darn good college basketball, and you have both not that far away in Charlotte.
And also think about how good the college baseball is around this area. I mean, heck, you had NC State and both North Carolina in the College World Series this past season. That's pretty much your form right there is NC State and Carolina and Duke.
The reason why and by the way, the Durham Bulls also awesome. The only reason why I don't count the Bulls or 162 games is a lot. 81 home games is a lot. That's just, it's hard for like college football or a minor league team to really fill that void when you can get into like going to games every week, multiple times a week, right? Fans can really dig their teeth into it. I think Major League Baseball is the one thing we're missing. We have great minor league baseball. We have great basketball options. We have great football options. We have great hockey options, obviously. I think we just need Major League Baseball. Now make it happen, right? We've talked with the MLB Raleigh guys. We've talked with different economic advisors or whatever on how it would help everything. I still think it's going to be tough. So in the meantime, go to a Durham Bulls game. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. As I refresh the medal count here, the United States of America, 5 gold medals, 30 total medals. We are falling further behind in gold medals because the People's Republic of China is now up to 9 gold medals. France and Japan up to 8. Australia, 7. Great Britain and the Republic of Korea, 6 each. United States in 7th with 5. And our lead is dwindling a bit in total medals because France picked up another. So the United States still leads, 30 total medals. France, though, the home country, 26 total medals. Anyone need a pep talk here? What are we doing? What are we doing here, United States? Let's make sure we're not letting these get away. I feel like we're missing. Maybe it's just we're missing Phelps, but I feel like we're missing like 5 swimming gold. Summer games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. Speaking of what's going on with the games, let's talk a bit about it, shall we? A little bit of update here. The men basketball, United States men's basketball team, won against South Sudan 103-86. And the story of the day, Jason Tatum in the starting lineup. This is the gift and the curse of being the men's United States Team USA men's basketball team coach. The gift and the curse of being Steve Kerr right now is it's really hard to mismanage this roster because pretty much no matter what you do is going to work. Game 1 against Serbia, you didn't play Jason Tatum at all. You benched him. Jason Tatum, 3-time All-NBA first teamer, NBA champion, $300+ million man. You didn't play him at all. This game, you started Jason Tatum. You put him in the starting lineup. Do you know what was different between the 2 games? Almost nothing. They both handily won the game against an overmatched opponent, which brings me to my first question from last time we talked about it. Why didn't Jason Tatum play? No matter who you play out of this lineup, you're probably going to win the game. Why not play everybody? Which you did this time. Even Tyrese Halliburton got some minutes. LeBron James, starter. Devin Booker, starter. Anthony Davis, starter. Jason Tatum, starter. Steph Curry started, played more minutes than Jason Tatum, had less points, had less blocks, had less rebounds, had less offensive rebounds, more assists. But hey, Jason Tatum, stand up. Women's soccer played this afternoon. They won against Australia. They continue to look strong. Do you know what I like about the This is one of those kind of unintended consequences of name, image, and likeness in college. Endorsements can mobilize much quicker now. We saw it with NC State on the way to their Final Four, where they would win a massive game on a Saturday. By Monday, everywhere I scroll on social media, it's like DJ Burns in a hallway telling us to use TurboTax.
DJ Burns on the Part of My Take podcast.
Yeah, it's everything. You can make money off of it quicker, and we're seeing that in the Olympics now. Ilona Maher, the rugby stud, right, running people over, big, strong women's rugby player for the United States. She's already popping up ads that she recorded on her phone selfie style in Olympic Village, telling me she's working with Google or whatever on this stuff. That's cool. I like that, right? They need to get a LensCrafters subscription for the guy on the pommel horse. Those stories can immediately be thrust into them changing their lives financially, in addition to them changing their lives for being, Olympic medalists. Simone Biles. You know what she's doing? Obviously, she's a great gymnast. She's proving my theory about all the all-time greats being ridiculously petty. Did you see all the stuff with her former teammate?
I glanced over it. I heard about it.
Michaela Skinner, a Olympian from last time. I guess she came out, decided to say some things. Outside of Simone, the girls just don't work as hard anymore. They don't have the work ethic. So after the team won the gold, Simone Biles comments, "We're lazy. We don't have a work ethic. We're gold medalists."
Jeez.
Every single all-time great, and Simone Biles is one, seems to be, they put that little chip on their shoulder. If you're going to be a GOAT, you hear everything. Michael Phelps with the by the way, the girl from the lady from Australia, I think it was, that was talking trash on the United States 3 weeks ago. She was saying how nice it is at meets when you don't have to keep hearing the United States national anthem, and she was talking all this trash. They showed it to Michael Phelps. I swear he almost decided he was going to swim in these Olympics.
He looked like he was going to just insert himself into the race.
I guarantee you he was going to call some Caleb Dressel or Ledecky or whoever and be like, "Shut him up hard." To be those GOATs, you're just that petty. Which, by the way, the lady that was talking trash didn't even make the Olympics. Didn't make it out of trials. Talk trash, stay at home. How are you going to talk trash on Simone Biles and that crew? You knew they were going to win. Lastly, we need to speak to our 3-on-3 men's basketball team.
Yeah, they're not doing too hot.
Jimmer Fredette and the 3-on-3 men's basketball team lost their first game. Why don't we put NBA players in that?
I was just about to say, well, if we keep running to this issue with the USA men's basketball team, the 5-on-5 team of guys just not being able to get playing time, maybe they can
send Tyrese Halliburton over
Send them over
3-on-3, like you're playing scrimmages in practice where the starters don't play.
Or it's like you're just playing at the Y.
Just throw them down. I don't know. I like Jimmer Fredette in that game. Maybe it was maybe it's the rest of the team that wasn't picking up what they need to pick up. But because shooters, 2s are worth so much more. 3s are worth 2, and they play by 2s and 1s. But we can't lose 3-on-3. I mean, we can't lose 3-on-3. If we lose 3-on-3, NBA players in it next time. Because the WNBA there's WNBA players on the women's side. Get a gold medal. By the way, it's not like you get a gold medal that's smaller than the 5-on-5. You get the same gold medal. Might not be seeming fair, but hey, same gold medal for a 1,500 as a 100. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about Miller Lending. My friend over at Miller Lending, meaning Gordon Miller. Gordon Miller he reached out and texted me today. Fed meets today could possibly indicate a cut in September is likely to your mortgage rate. If you just signed up for a mortgage and you just paid all these closing costs and fees, which you wouldn't have to pay with Miller Lending, you're probably going, no, wait, what? The rates are going to cut? No, I just locked in. If you got a mortgage with Miller Lending, rates drop is always a good thing. Refinance, no cost, no fees, right? You don't have to pay the closing costs. You don't have to pay the third-party fees. 0 means 0. So if rates drop in September, great. If rates drop in December, awesome. If they drop in September and December and next year and 2 years from now, it's always good news because you don't have to pay anything out of your pocket to refinance and lower your monthly payment when you use Gordon Miller and a no closing cost loan from Miller Lending. So give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Let's get to the numbers game. We need 2 contestants for the numbers game. If you want to win a pair of tickets to see Train with REO Speedwagon at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 9th, you have to win the numbers game. To win, you have to play. To play, you have to call in now. 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Call in now to play the numbers game. It's coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
All this noise about College Football 25, the video game, right? It's a video game, but I can guarantee you this. At some point within the next 10 years, I'll say it right now, there will be a plethora of young college coaches who will credit this video game for getting them interested in a football career.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Want a great deal on Mountain Dew? Handy Hugo's offering 2 20-ounce Mountain Dews for just $4. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-298-9383. 800-298-9383. Again, that's 800-298-9383.
Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
Batter up! Theater Raleigh presents Bull Durham, a new musical playing Duke University's Reynolds Industries Theater in Durham, September 10th through the 22nd. Based on the classic movie, the film's original screenwriter Ron Shelton has adapted the story for the musical, so you can follow Crash Davis's Durham Bulls story and his romantic love triangle in a new genre. The perfect blend of comedy, drama, and steamy romance. Get your tickets for Bull Durham, a new musical, today. Details and ticket info at theaterraleigh.com.
Capital Broadcasting Company and NC Beautiful award thousands of azaleas to nonprofit organizations throughout the state. If your organization would like free azaleas, visit us online at wral-gardens.com. Go to the Azalea Celebration tab and fill out an application form by August 31st. Let's keep our state looking clean and beautiful.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The U.S. men's basketball team improved to 2-0 in Olympic play the 103-86 win over South Sudan. Bam Adebayo led the Americans with 18 points, while Kevin Durant in 14. Both the American 3x3 teams are in action today. The women lost to Azerbaijan 20-17. The men trail Poland 18-16 with about 90 seconds to go. Big day for two of the biggest swimming stars in these games. American Katie Ledecky set an Olympic record to win the 1500 free, her 12th career Olympic medal and 8th career gold, both tied for the most ever by an American woman. Meanwhile, France's Léon Marchand thrilled the hometown crowd with a pair of gold medal performances in the 200 butterfly and 200 breaststroke. Tori Huska, the U.S., won silver in the women's 100 free. And the U.S. women's soccer team held off Australia 2-1. They finished group play with a record of 3-0. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family? What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit
It is time to play the numbers game here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. The contestants for today are Casey in Wake Forest and Dylan in Apex. The prize for today's edition of the numbers game is a pair of tickets to see Train with REO Speedwagon at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 9th. As always, we start with a question to see who goes first. I'm still in the Olympic spirit, so we'll double up on our question from yesterday. Casey in Wake Forest, we'll start with you. If you could win a gold medal in any one Olympic sport, what Olympic sport would it be and why?
I'm going to have to go swimming because I'm so bad at swimming, so it's pretty impressive how fast these people are.
All right. So you're using it as like self-improvement. Like, I want to win a gold medal in swimming because that means I can swim.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's fine. A little interesting look at it. That goes to Dylan in Apex. Dylan, same question to you. If you could win an Olympic gold in any sport, what sport would it be and why?
Probably Hurricanes playoff tailgating, if that's a sport.
You know what? I like the answer. It's local. It's, again, off the beaten path. I don't know if it's technically possible, one of the options, but I'm going to pick it because I'm in a good mood. Dylan in Apex, you get to go first.
Heck yeah, sweet.
All right, the categories you get to choose from: NFL Swifties, all players who have Taylor in their name; NFL James Gang, all players that have James in their name; NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
Let's go Canes and Whalers only.
After that answer, I feel like you had to go Carolina Hurricanes.
I don't want anybody to be upset with me though.
No, nobody's upset with you. They just poke fun and laugh. But it's all in good. It's good natured. It's all love. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. I will say the team, even though we know the team in this category, to keep it fair for timing purposes with the other categories. Any questions before we get started?
All good.
All right.
Ready to go.
Cool. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Brent Burns, Carolina Hurricanes.
8.
Correct. Brady Shea, Carolina Hurricanes.
Not 17. Oh, crap. 76?
Correct. Steve Lawrence, Carolina Hurricanes.
Sorry, who was it?
Steve Lawrence, Carolina Hurricanes.
Not 23. That's Nason. Dang it, dude.
I do like the strategy of just saying numbers that it's not.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Brady Shea is not number 17, maybe because that number is retired for Rod Brindamore.
Yeah.
That's a possibility there. But you got Burns, you got Shea. Lawrence is number 78. So you weren't really even in the ballpark, which is sometimes better, right? Rather be missed by a bunch than be close. But you did get 2. So we'll go ahead and make you the leader in the clubhouse, and we'll see if it holds up.
All right, cool.
Casey and Wake Forest, are you there?
Yep.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL Swifties, all players with Taylor in their name, NFL James Gang, all players with James in their name, or NBA current players only.
I'll do NFL Swifties.
All right, these are all players with Taylor in their name. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You need 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts.
28.
Correct. Fred Taylor, Jacksonville Jaguars.
28.
Correct. Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants.
59.
Incorrect. Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins.
99.
Correct. Taylor Moton, Carolina Panthers.
76.
Incorrect. Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants.
58.
Incorrect. Taylor Moton, Carolina Panthers.
71.
Incorrect. Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants.
55.
You're getting closer. You're getting closer. Jonathan Taylor, 28, you got it. Fred Taylor, 28, you got it. Jason Taylor, 99, you got it. Lawrence Taylor, LT, 56. I think you were in the 50s a few different times, but didn't get to 56. And Taylor Moton with the Panthers, starting right tackle, number 72. But 3 is enough for the win. That's all you needed, and that's all you got. Congratulations. You get the train tickets with REO Speedwagon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Perfect. There, even a little Elvis impression there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Go ahead and sit on the line. Graham has some info he needs to get from you, but congratulations once again. Quickly here, before we move on, this is hilarious, right? We're obviously an ACC show here. We cover the ACC. The ACC on Twitter has officially, I don't even know, like fully embraced Stanford, but also maybe taking a little bit of liberties there. The ACC tweeted out, Olympic record, Ledecky bringing home the gold. As if it were an ACC athlete, she swam for Stanford. Stanford has yet to participate in an ACC sporting event, but they were at ACC kickoff for football. I don't know. Just seems funny. ACC taking credit for Katie Ledecky. Maybe they should. Maybe it's just once you bring in Stanford, you bring them all in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NFL Top 100 list, as voted by the players, either has one glaring omission or one glaringly overpriced Panther. I'll tell you who. I'll tell you what coming up next.
Win your weight in meat is back on 99.9 The Fan. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 and enter for your chance to be one of our finalists. Through August 2nd, we'll pick 10 people to come on air during the Drive with me, Tim Donnelly, and share their weight. On August 5th, we will randomly select one lucky winner, and they will score their weight in meat. Served up by the North Carolina Pork Council and their dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org.
College football season is right around the corner, and head coach Mac Brown and the Tar Heels want to see you in Kenan Stadium this fall. Don't miss out on exciting home matchups featuring in-state opponents, including NC State, Wake Forest, NC Central, and the home opener versus Charlotte on September 7th. All ticket options, including full season tickets, the customizable Tar Heel 2-pack, and individual game tickets are on sale now. For more information and to get your Carolina football tickets today, visit GoHeels.com.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Lenny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
At Lowe's, save big every day. Right now, get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of Metabo HPT nails. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50, $70, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Who's the young Spanish tennis player? Alcaraz?
I believe so.
Alcaraz? Might not be saying that right. But it's cool right now in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. In men's doubles, it's Rafael Nadal and Alcaraz. I might be saying that incorrectly. That's like old, like it's the definition of a torch passing, right?
Yeah.
You have Nadal as the greatest Spanish tennis player of all time, Alcaraz the next guy who's going to try to chase him down, and they're playing in the quarterfinals together on the same team trying to win for their country. That's just one of those moments that only happens in the Olympics. Right? I hope Alcaraz ends the Olympics with like, "Hey, it was really fun playing with you. I'm coming after all of your records. You will know I'm going to erase you from the history books."
Well, I just saw a shot where he's literally like yelling or celebrating.
They're fired up. They are fired up. And also, if you're into watches, timepieces,
which you are,
Rafael Nadal wears like a $300,000 watch when he plays.
Yeah, he was just screaming like a Nadal's face.
Richard Mille. A lot of money there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You know who should be screamed in the face of? Players in the NFL. NFL Network conducts a survey where they ask players to rank the top 100 in the entire league. Derrick Brown, barring an extreme overranking, is maybe the most underranked person I've ever seen on this list. The annual NFL Top 100 list has 10 spots left to announce. They've announced 100 through 11. So there's just the top 10 left. And Derrick Brown has not been named. Also, they announced the 10, first 10 out. They announced the 10 that just missed the list. Derrick Brown isn't there. So either Derrick Brown is one of the top 10 players in the NFL, which I would be flabbergasted, or he is not seen as a top 110 player in the NFL, which is redonkulous. That is, I'm going to use all my Stephen A. Smith words, blasphemous. That's erroneous. I assume it's like a disrespect thing. I assume it's a Panthers disrespect thing. This guy broke the record for tackles by an interior defensive lineman last year. He's a 300-pounder that plays on the interior defensive line. He had 100 tackles. There are linebackers that play sideline to sideline that don't end up with 100 tackles. And by the way, this is not like, sometimes, again, I talked about it earlier, the media doesn't always know what they're voting for. They might not see the value in a defensive tackle. They might want guys that have sacks or interceptions, and they just put them all up there. The players should know. It has to be, the only way I can justify this is the Panthers were so bad last year. They were paid attention to so little by the rest of the league that everybody else didn't, it didn't even pop into their brain, right? There's a legendary, do you remember SVP and Russillo? Scott Van Pelt and Russillo? Yeah. It was an ESPN radio show years ago. And there's a legendary deal where, Scott Van Pelt was a Kevin Durant guy, right? They're both from the same part of Maryland. Kevin Durant was his dude. And they were, ranking players by their position or something, like Super Sports Radio. And Scott Van Pelt got caught in, a logic pretzel where when they were ranking power forwards, he said, I'm going to put Kevin Durant as a small forward. Then when they were ranking small forwards, he forgot that he said that, so he figured he had put him with the power forwards. So he just never had Kevin Durant on a list, as if he wasn't a top 5 guy at his position, even though he was his favorite player. And everybody gives him a hard time about it. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. They still talk about it when they are on podcasts and stuff together now. But that's an omission, right? That's I forgot. That's not, I don't think Kevin Durant is a great player. That's I'm an airhead. Could it be that the entire NFL voting population for this NFL Top 100 list had an airhead moment where they just don't think of the Panthers on such a grand scale that they forgot that Derrick Brown existed? Because that's the only way he's not a top 110 player in the NFL. That's the only way he's not a top 110 player. The Cowboys have 3 from 11 to 20. Granted, they're pretty good. It's Dak, it's CD, and it's Micah. But Derrick Brown, if you're putting them that high, Derrick Brown is somewhere. He's got to be somewhere. By the way, when I said CD right there, my phone thought I was saying
I was like, did I press something over here?
I don't want to say what it thought it heard, but when I said CD, it thought I called for an iPhone. You know that word you can say? Every once in a while, this is a side note, I do think of saying hey, SIRI, and asking phones to do something funny, because I know that if you're in your car, your phone's probably hanging out somewhere. If you're listening to this, I could make your phone do something funny just by doing that.
Right.
But I won't. Somebody used to always say I should say ALEXA. You know what that, get at there. And start ordering stuff off of Amazon. Just say hey, ALEXA, go ahead and purchase a and send it. But then that would be messed up to our listeners, so I won't do that. But I do have some friends that are more mischievous than I that thought that would be a good idea. One last little medal count update here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. People's Republic of China, first in gold medals with 9. France and Japan tied in second with 8. Australia with 7. Tied in 5th, Great Britain and Korea. United States in 7th with 5. However, I feel like I have to keep pointing this out just to give us some shred of we're winning. United States does have 30 total medals, which is more than anybody else. 13 silver, 12 bronze. This is how spoiled I am as an American when it comes to the summer games. I'm going silver, that's unsatisfying. You're the second best person in the world at what you do? No. I need you to turn that into a gold. Probably says something about me. But the United States, again, leading in total medals, 30. Next closest, France with 26. Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. Shout out to the fellow or lady on Twitter who... Oh, where'd it go? Said it somewhere. Where the men have the 3-on-3 men and women have both lost twice for the United States. The women lost to Azerbaijan. I get it. If we're going to lose the pistol shooting, if we're going to lose kayaking, if there's some great ping pong player somewhere else, 3-on-3 basketball, we can't lose to Azerbaijan, men or women. What are we doing here? That's like North Carolina losing a barbecue contest to
Minnesota,
Northern Alaska or something. We can't do that.
I just gave North Carolina fans a challenge for anybody that's going up there for that opening game on a Thursday night.
What is going on? And I believe there are WNBA players playing for the women. The men, I don't think are NBA players, but still, it's basketball.
Again, Tyrese Halliburton or anybody that's just Jason Tatum, anybody that's just feeling like they're not getting.
If you're not playing enough minutes,
not playing enough minutes, and you just need to get some cardio in, just go play for the 3-on-3 team. See it as a pickup game at your local.
I don't know.
YMCA
They lost twice. Is there a pool play they might not make it out of? Do they have to make it to the knockout round? Are we already donezo? What is going on here? I need to run the Olympics. Graham, me and you. Team USA.
Okay.
We can make it happen. I'll make the selections.
God help our country.
Oh no, we're gonna have more than 5 gold medals. I'll tell you that much. 7th place in the world in gold medals right now.
I mean, I can pass the ball. I can distribute.
We're not gonna play.
Oh, we're just gonna run it.
We're gonna. No, gosh. And then we'd have 0 gold medals. We're gonna run the whole deal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Unfortunately, we don't have more time to dive into that hypothetical. Instead, we'll air the conversation about Julius Peppers from earlier today to start off Overdrive here on 99.9 The Fan. You'll also hear from Doug Warf, brand new Canes president, on Overdrive, which is coming up next. Please subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of The Drive. Have a great night, everybody.